And I don't think that it's great for other women or even men, Rhodes said. I myself am against pornography now from my own experiences.
Okay. I think Lisa Anna said that to some degree, too, about how she got out of the mainstream. Just does it herself now.
Yeah, but she's never trashed the industry. She's not telling girls don't get into it. It's a terrible industry.
Well, these are just her experiences.
I know.
There are different levels to it, obviously. It's mostly hardcore pornography that I have an issue with.
Okay. That makes sense, I guess, to a point.
To each their own.
I spent 4 years in San Francisco.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Cuts of the Week are brought to you by Bertarelli Cutlery. Visit them on the Hill or online at bertarellico.com. Cut 1.
Plowhawk, when you would meet a woman, and of course you're a man in love, but when you would meet a woman and you're carrying the girth you're carrying, is that something that you bring up, or is it just a little treat they discover when you bed them?
I think it's a treat they discover, but I think females are smart enough to know the bigger the hog, the more confidence you have in conversations.
BDE.
Do you think that's a real thing?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Jackson's involved in the conversation.
Yeah, when you go in there not having to worry about fully what you look like and what you're saying, because you have the hog to back it up.
Right.
Doug, you have the hog to back it up.
By the time they find that
It's a
out,
new T-shirt.
Aren't you past the point of no return?
Well, if they find out you got a 2-inch wiener, you got a whole nother thing coming, and that's, that relationship just started over again.
Cut 2.
I will take a 5 on 11.
Yeah,
even though I'm not even coming close to hitting driver. I'm probably hitting like a hybrid or 4-iron.
That incline, man, that second shot.
Doug, it's the green. You want to hold that green? You want to two-putt that green, Jack? Okay, have fun.
11's the hardest on the course.
Number 11.
In terms of,
we're talking about number 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Normandy?
11, Doug, yeah.
And for somebody that cuts the ball like me, you don't have a lot of room out
Let's
there.
pull a Biggie's tee shot.
Do you think everyone listening to us now lives at Normandy Golf Course and knows exactly or has any idea what you guys are talking about?
On one, you need to get it dead center fairway.
Yep. That's the key on one.
That's so much different than all the other courses. The lack of self-awareness in here is driving me nuts. We got the Blues now in 4th place, threatening to not make the playoffs, and I'm supposed to worry about what shot to hit on the number 10 hole at Normandy? I'm not! Oh, and here's a tip. Try to hit it straight. Really? Thank God for this kind of advice.
Cut 3.
Well, I hope somebody heckled the hell out of Tiffany Haddish's next show at the White Castle.
She's performing at White Castle.
You don't like her, do you?
The Hollywood Reporter listed Tiffany Haddish among the 100 most powerful people in entertainment in both 2018 and 2019.
No, she has been. This is 2022.
It's pre-COVID. Got a lot of explaining to do now. Dramatic fall in the White Castle.
Where is she in 2022? You can't make that comment if you're not in the top 100 in 2022.
Guys, we need a poll on the Twitter tweets to see who has heard of Tiffany Horseradish, because I know I haven't. That's from Hammerin' Hank.
Tiffany Horseradish is a great name.
I had to look her up to see.
I had to look her up and see as well.
Cut.
I'll leave it at the 4.
FYI, parallel polyamory is different from the don't ask, don't tell policy that's sometimes practiced in open relationships. You says, in parallel polyamory arrangements, all partners are aware of the other partner's existence. They just have no desire to meet or hear about each other. Okay? You understand the difference there between that and the kitchen?
Not really. I've kind of tuned some of it out at this point. I can't take any more of this! Who's your Montaur? I don't know. Who's the Centaur? Who's getting cucked? I don't know. And we got to get through a list of 9 of these, and we're only 3 deep at the moment.
4.
I can't take a lot more. And now, there's going to be some kind of quiz about this when it's over?
Yeah.
I'm getting confused.
I can't follow any of it.
I haven't listened in like 5 minutes.
I'm locked in.
What do you got, Plowhawk?
When my mom does simple things like washing my hair or washing my body, it makes me feel comforted.
Cut 5.
When they see me get into a 04 CRV, I'm not buying the 2022, Hemi pickup truck with, a lift kit. That kind of shows that you're already well below the curve in the penis size.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody with a new pickup truck is likely to be 4
probably
inches.
getting cucked.
Oh my God.
Well,
So if you're driving a pickup truck You're getting cucked.
Not all pickup trucks.
But 98%.
The brand new ones with no mud have never used the back end for any hauling of any kind.
Never pulled a stump out of the ground.
You basically spent $60,000 because you know your penis is small.
Oh.
You ever do what I do?
Where's my oven mitt again?
You ever do what I do? I find myself like if I'm at a stoplight and there's like a 60, 65-year-old gentleman next to me or a 50-year-old gentleman next to you in a vet or something, you just kind of look over and say, sorry for the small penis, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't buy that.
Tell.
Those are the guys that can afford the Corvette.
They're just making up for
now,
they're making up for their lack of size by buying cars and like me, ladies, they're making up for the small penis.
Cut.
6.
I've got a Blues heavy lineup in my fantasy hockey. I've been in first place most of the year.
No.
Last 4 weeks, I lost 3 of them, and I finished in second place in the regular season. I was in first almost all year, and the Blues go on a scoring drought. They can't score anything.
Really?
My fantasy hockey team has been knocked out of the lead, and I'm tired of that.
But you're having fun, at least.
Well, I was when I was winning.
Why don't you get drafting with your heart?
I lost 3 of the last 4.
Sounds like you're about to smack the lead.
I had like a 3-game lead.
And those were the cuts of the week.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I'm here with a great sponsor on TMA, and that is the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. But here is the thing. You hear injury law and you go, okay, well, that's all they do. But that is not necessarily the case.
Yeah, Tim, we also do workers' compensation cases, and those are obviously cases that comes from someone getting hurt while at work. But these cases are actually kind of tricky because workers' compensation cases are governed by their own set of laws, and they can be difficult to navigate. There's a lot of things people don't know. For instance, all your medical treatment has to be provided by your employer, and there's 2 different kinds of payments you need to be concerned about in a work comp case. One type is just getting paid for the time that you can't work, and the other is a settlement for the permanent injury that you have, which factors in various elements of your case, such as what body part and how severe it is. And this is where you need a knowledgeable work comp attorney to help you maximize your settlement. The insurance companies don't negotiate fair in these cases and don't settle for less if you're hurt at work. Visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to the Michelob Ultra Studios. It's the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Come on in. The water is really warm today. It's bubbly. 314-881-TMA5 is the EDF Group text inbox. Call in. Let's really focus on phone calls today. 636-9004-TMA and email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today. Doug, the show hadn't started, and they were not happy.
About what? The bubbling water that you spoke of?
Let's see, Nate in Tallahassee. There is no fake Nate account. I love the show despite Iggy's insufferable and useless presence. That's Nate in Tallahassee.
Gosh.
Because yesterday we observed that in the YouTube chat, youtube.com/TMASTL, where you can join in and talk it over with friends of the Feather, that Nate in Tallahassee said he was happy for Missouri fans and the win on Saturday against Kansas State. And we thought, well, that was off-brand for Nate in Tallahassee. And then there was an accusation. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
I can tell.
You okay, Tim? You need a break?
Is it the Wainwright win?
We can go to break right now.
That Nate in Tallahassee had somebody was making a fake Nate in Tallahassee account in the YouTube chat, and therefore Nate in Tallahassee was ready to go at 7:05 to issue that statement. Then right above him, it's 7:08. Where the hell are you guys? My morning routine is shot. Damn it, Leather. That's from Flocky the Smurf. It's 7:09. Where are you? That's from Jackson's Lone Wispy Pube. I don't want to hear one word about Wainwright from Darren the Hater. What a fraud with that post last night. That's from Todd Reesing.
Leave us be.
Dude, I said it was
What was your post last night?
I love Adam Wainwright. Just a friendly little picture, and I said, hey, look, my buddy just got 200 wins. It was the picture that he's pointing at me. And
that's a classic. It's spring training?
Yeah, it's one of the better photos that we've taken there.
Yeah, what was going on there? I assume he didn't want to participate in your question of the day.
Yeah.
You were very close to the clubhouse now that I've seen that
Walker with
image.
the paper in front of his face. That has all of the my Western Illinois University cap.
Hard to believe we got banned from that area.
It's pretty easy. I remember Jerko.
Yeah, pandemic can't do it, huh? Yeah, pandemic can't do it. Okay.
Those are the good old days when Plowsy actually killed it, and then I had to go down and do it one year, and it was awful.
Who are these people that are getting ready for work and they've noticed it's 7:08 and the show hasn't started and they're in such a panic, so upset that they drop what they're doing and text in and say, "Where are you?"
I like the 1-2.
I mean, you've got your schedule down to the point where just seconds matter when this radio show come on. Knock it off!
Well, I would suggest Nate in Tallahassee, go out and maybe fish today or just go to the pool or do something to make yourself happy.
What are you going to do to make yourself happy?
I don't know.
That sounded miserable.
Still working on it. I mean, it's to the point now where I can't even relax outside, so I just...
Oh, no. More problems right outside your door.
But you're moving soon.
Yeah, I'm moving,
No,
like,
just
I'm
sign
moving
up.
like 20 feet away.
Shrimply Pibbles is sending in pictures of his wife. I can't remember which one is his wife. Doug, which one is his wife in this picture?
The one that looks like the Victoria's Secret model, I'm sure.
If it's a group photo, it's definitely the less attractive one.
That's where most of our listeners...
Let's see. I found a glory hole this weekend. Might call in. Actually, let me clarify. My wife found a glory hole this weekend.
There's no such thing.
I'll see if I can get her to call in. That's from Shrimply Pibbles.
There's no such
We'll
thing.
never hear from that.
So Iggy is shorting that play. Buzz. Doug, you know caller Buzz. Did he win the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month in June?
I believe he was, yeah.
And he says, Todd Reesing is insufferable. I will fist him back across the border. I am getting primed to Ellie Clutch now, toodaloos. Buzz?
Okay, we're well into the body of the show now. This is
I
who
think
we
there should
are.
be an asterisk next to his name for... Because we gave him the Listener of the Month for that story about the doctor from Chicago. And then his last story when he called in was just so bad that I think
You want to
everybody...
take it away from him?
That I think everybody now believes that that's a fake story.
That he didn't get fisted by a doctor?
Well, I don't think the doctor or the
doctor
wife or the making out and getting kicked out of the concert happened. I don't think any of that happened now.
Anyone who's had an old school prostate exam has been fisted by a doctor, right?
Flip that off.
You go full fist? I mean, if the doctor's
Felt
going
like it.
full
You can
fist,
ask, you can ask
Sure
for it.
felt like it.
My favorite TMA spring training moment was when Iggy put in the effort to put an advertiser's T-shirt on top of a bush. That's from the Hunchback of Vaughan Castle. Doug, I believe that was Seth Goldcamp who was on the receiving end of that. With
That was the rainy
designing
day.
Iggy.
That was the day. It was like 50 degrees outside, 48 degrees outside. I was freezing my ass off. I got one of the Cardinal guys to give me a sweatshirt, and I didn't have the shirt on, so I put it over the bush to give it a little advertising.
I wasn't able. I didn't do that. That was a huge miss on my part when I was out there. I just went on the field.
Yeah.
I definitely should have got kicked out.
I did nothing. Cat would yell, "There's a player," and I'm not running after him. Hell with it.
That's also very funny, though.
It is uncomfortable asking them for interviews down there. When you know they don't want to do it, they're on their way to working out, or they're on their way from being done working out and want to get to the golf course. And there we are.
And you know what's funny about those is, like, when they say yes to one, then it's like...
They got to do the round.
Then you see the swarm.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Caller Ellen, who was calling in yesterday. Did she ever call in? She did.
She might, but we don't see the phone ringing.
I don't look at it.
No.
We're going to be 2 years here. The skeleton is unfixable. Jackson on camera, impossible. Phone lines, invisible.
Plowsy's computer doesn't work.
It does today. It has...
How it's doing?
Pepped up. Well, I typically restart it every morning.
Oh, is that right? Caller Ellen says the 707 T-shirt is your brand, not 708. Now, there's the T-shirt and hoodie at tmastlshop.com that says it's 707 in St. Louis, not 708.
So
That's
you
the
think
point.
people look at their digital watches and clocks and say, wait a minute, it's 7:08. Where the hell are they?
Well, maybe they should look at their clock because Tim said 7:07 when we started the show, so that's what time it is.
Well, I just say that out of habit.
I know
I have
you
no
do.
idea what time it is. Well, actually, Plowhawk Doug and I were talking before the show, and Plowhawk goes, "Oh, we're going to start at 7:09." And there was an issue with the timing, so he said.
Yeah, well, the segment that were around the 5-ish minute mark have already played in the last couple of days. That one that played right before was the only one that hasn't played in the last 10 days. So to shorten it, I would have had to play a segment that would have played 2 days prior, and I would not have heard the end of that
you
from
wouldn't.
some random listener, so I'm not going to Not going to do that to myself.
Hey, guys, played golf with great Cal Kennedy yesterday. Great butt. Thanks. That's from the 636.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe the 707 T-shirt should be something like 70 something or whatever. Thanks, Hunchback of Castle. Hey, Tim, real talk, off toppy. During my coked out dark days, I found my childhood babysitter at a bar in Belleville and banged her out. Bucket list thing. It couldn't get hard, though, so she dumped some olive oil all over me and slid inside of me, and it worked and finally finished. Thanks.
What
Recovering
in the
alcohol from
world?
Belleville.
What in the world?
To be honest, you rarely start at 707. Doug, how about
Why
that?
are people worried about this?
I kind of disagree. If there was a time we typically start, I think 7:07.
Well, give him a few minutes. Tim's going to get a long text about. On April 26th, you started at 7:08.
Is that a Buck Swope impression?
You started at 7:07. April 29th, you started at 7:06.
It sounds like Ned Reynolds, though.
Yeah, kind of.
Ned's killing it right now.
Caller Ellen says, personally, I don't care, but I'm just telling you why it causes problems.
How could it possibly cause anyone a problem?
You do
whether we
realize-
start at 7:07 or 7:08.
You do realize, like, now I'm going to start. I want to start at 7:09 now.
Let's delay it a little bit.
I think I'm changing
Or
it.
let's start early and they'll miss it.
Are there people burning their shirts because 7:07 my ass and throw their shirts away because we started at 7:08?
Ooh, 7:05. That sounds like a honey hole right there.
Usually you're not even looking at a clock, right? Do you really know exactly what time it starts?
Good morning in Baltimore. Their morning talk shows start on time. That's from Sweet Sweet Connie.
Son of a sack ass!
Baltimore sucks.
Doug, the Orioles with a win last night, and they're going to the postseason. It's just a matter of if they're going to be the American League East champions. Fun to watch, huh? The Browns.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I read yesterday that the Browns tried to move to Los Angeles. They were going to be the first team to move to Los
Is that
Angeles.
right?
And they had a meeting to announce it on December 8th, 1941. And the day before, December 7th, Pearl Harbor was bombed.
Wow.
Major League Baseball officials got together and said, we can't risk this intercontinental travel. You know, the safety of the West Coast is kind of up in the air right now. So, no, you can't move to Los Angeles.
How about that?
Yeah, so
I had
instead they
never
wound up in
heard that.
Baltimore.
And you just happened to read that yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Why'd they leave St. Louis?
Couldn't get any fans to watch them.
Typical St. Louis.
Oh, the Cardinals were doing fine.
I'm kidding.
I wake up to Tim's voice. If it isn't 7:07 on the dot, my day is 100% off. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
That guy scares me.
I literally think he's
I'm
murdered
afraid of
about
him.
10 or 15. He has 15 pretties sitting somewhere.
I never know exactly what time it is. My phone is 2 minutes off of my microwave.
Well, trust your phone.
Oh,
You
which
set the
one?
microwave.
Yeah, but I set it
The
to.
phone is set by some kind of international clock. The phone is actually...
Time is here.
Your microwave you can change yourself.
What time does your phone say?
Probably the exact same time as yours,
I would agree with that.
7:19.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, 7:19.
Nice, sick.
I'll change my microwave when I get home. We get something to do.
Yeah, well,
that
you can
sounds awesome.
change that.
120 Friends of the Feather have gathered in the YouTube chat. It's youtube.com/TMASTL. And you'll see some wares here. Plowhawk is wearing the TMA hoodie. Everything is 10% off at TMASTLshop.com. And I'm wearing the TMA NASA. Is this what this is, Doug? Is this NASA?
It looks like it
The
to
NASA
me.
logo, except
Sure
for
does.
TMA. You can get all these in hoodies and T-shirts. Iggy's wearing a KC95 shirt, as he is a big fan of KC95. Go get them at TMASTLshop.com, and everything is 10% off when you check out at TMASTLshop.com. Hoodies and T-shirts and all of these different things that you have seen us wear, and we will continue to have new ones for you to enjoy. We mentioned Seth Goldcamp and Design Air Heating and Cooling. Seth Goldcamp. Well, Doug, here we go. It's time to start scheduling a furnace tune-up.
It sure is, yeah. Even if you don't think you got a problem. A little tune-up, they come in, quick like, put on the little booties, make a few adjustments, and you'll be set to go.
Yeah, my wife and I are scheduling ours with Design Air Heating and Cooling. Whether you are podcasting like the Dickens or you are listening live, you can just go to designairservice.com and schedule from the Book Now tab. And then you forget about it. Furnace maintenance ensures safe operation this winter and significantly reduces the likelihood of furnace failure during the extremely cold days. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Just get it checked out, tuned up, and then you know you're in good shape for the cold weather months. Get it done now so you're safe then. Get it done now so you're safe then. And do it with the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, and that is Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling. And also, you can send in your emails, erotic stories. Got a couple last week. It was a very hot QFTA.
Really?
Very hot, you're right. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com is where you can send in whatever you would like. Well, Doug, you're right. What a Jim Dandy of a night at Busch Stadium. Perhaps one of the only Jim Dandies in 2023. A mainly forgettable year for the Cardinals. But last night, Adam Wainwright, in something we could have never seen happening a couple of months ago, got his second straight win, and that win was win number 200. Let's hand it over now to our friend Chip Carey for the call, the final out from Bailey's.
Popped him up. And it's out. Adam Wainwright, welcome to the 200-win club. How do you encapsulate a Cardinals career? Hugs and handshakes. And a masterful pitching performance.
They win the World Series?
Oh, come on. Give him a moment.
It did sound a little World Series-y.
Well,
but it's awesome.
It's one of the more popular Cardinals in recent history. Maybe he and Molina, Pujols, I guess, are all right there together. One of the best pitchers in Cardinal history. He's on the Mount Rushmore. The Mount Rushmore of Gibson, Dizzy Dean, Jesse Haynes, Adam Wainwright. That's probably it.
So you put Carpenter below Wainwright? I guess
I'd put Wainwright above Carpenter because he's been here for so long.
Yeah, no, I get it. That was awesome, though. And the shutout, too, and everything. I thought that was kind of the cherry on top of that.
Suddenly, he's their best pitcher. The last 2 or 3 starts. You can't do it. That might be the best start they've had all year last night.
That was unbelievable.
How many other guys have gone 7 shutout innings with 4 hits allowed? It's had to have happened at some point, but I don't remember it.
No, I'm glad he got it. It's just, I shouldn't say it because Chip is like that. Chip is, when I watch highlights, they're down 8-1, and I want to see somebody hit a home run. I want to, down 8-0. Hello, that's gonna go. Whoa, what a bomb! It's 8-0.
Well, how would you like him to
That's what I'm saying. That's how he is.
Yeah.
So it's not out of the realm of him going crazy for a 200th win.
Well, this is something people have been hoping for and paying attention to all season long. He went like two months, 3 months without a win.
In the air, left field, and gone.
That's how you want him to call it.
That's what I like to hear when they're down 8-0.
Okay, let's see. Here's John Rooney's call, Doug.
All right. Hit the lever, please, Plowsy.
Got you, Doug.
Helsley tugs on the bill of the cap. Leans against the first base side of the rubber, dangles the right arm. Listening for the sign by way of pitch com from Wilson Contreras. The 2-1 pitch with 2 outs. Here it comes to Adames. A swing, and it's popped up. Short right field. Tommy Edman goes out. He's under it. He makes the catch. It's a Waino Redbird winner. 200 career victories for Adam Wainwright, joining Bob Gibson and Jesse Haynes as 200 game winners in the Cardinal organization. Light up the night for Waino.
Who the hell is Jesse Haynes?
He was a great pitcher for the Cardinals years ago.
Well, I'm not down on. I got to be honest with you. I just don't see it. I mean, this guy's one of the most popular Cardinals in the last 20 years. Got the final out of a famous NLCS. Still talked about, and perhaps more in New York than it is in St. Louis with the Beltran at bat. Final out of the World Series in 2006. Probably should have won the Cy Young in 2009. Bullpen blew that one. I was in the back of my mind wondering if that was going to happen last night. And in a season in which I think he was understandably left for dead and probably thought he wasn't going to get there, he was able to shut down a team that's been red hot in 7 innings. I think it's a great story.
I do too. He's been a fantastic Cardinal. I mean,
just a first class.
Yeah. If you ever get the pleasure of meeting him, you'll see what a classy guy he is. I'm interested to see what he does after his playing career. He may just settle down and do nothing with a house full of kids, or he may become the next commissioner of baseball. He could do anything. Anything he wants to do, he could do.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not poo-pooing this because I don't like Wainwright. You're right, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet and great for this organization. I just would find it hard to get that excited for a 200th win after a team's going to finish in last place.
It
Well,
does suck
I mean,
how they-
it's not. It's a milestone for a pitcher, but it's not Hall of Fame. It's not. It's
There's only 4 other active pitchers with 200 wins. Can you name them?
yeah. Those 4 all go into the Hall of Fame.
Can you name them?
Verlander,
Yeah.
Greinke,
Yeah.
Scherzer,
Yeah, sure. One more.
Ooh.
Charlie Morton.
No.
Gotta be Kershaw, right?
Kershaw. Yeah, he's the other one.
Oh, I didn't even think he got to 200. He's hurt so much.
Gosh.
But those are
Pitcher
guys.
since 2009.
Yeah, but he's hurt quite a bit. Those are the guys that are going to the Hall of Fame, and he's not.
No, probably not.
We got to keep it real on this program.
It's not really the day to bash him.
There was no Greg Bottom Boner rolling a 300, but some of us found it exciting anyways. Ken, that's from Arbor Day.
I know. Did you stand up in your living room when he did and scream like they won the World Series?
It was the first time I had watched 3 straight innings of Cardinal baseball since I don't know when. Maybe June, July, I don't know.
Yeah. People just like him so much that they really desperately wanted to see him get this.
I'm
It's
happy
been a,
for him.
It's been a tough season for him. Been a horrible season for the team, but a really tough one for him. And to see it end on this happy note, it just makes everybody feel
I was
good.
happy. I was just kind of surprised that they went so gaga, like it was a World Series win.
Well, they didn't really storm the field or anything. I
Popped
kept
up,
looking
that
around.
should do it. Popped up, that should do it. 3rd out, and there it is. Adam Wainwright, 200th win. Congratulations, Waino. That's it, not scream.
Adam Wainwright addressed the crowd. Many people felt like Iggy did and booed him.
I would have booed him.
Oh, come on.
Here is Adam Wainwright last night speaking to the crowd at Busch Stadium.
Okay.
First of all, my wife Jenny, I love you. My kiddos, I love y'all so much. But I love this city.
It's a cheap pop.
Best fans.
Cheap pop.
I love being a St. Louis Cardinal, and I love that I got to play my whole career here. Thank y'all so much for embracing me. I love you.
Well, what more can you ask from a player than what Adam Wainwright has given the Cardinals?
Yeah.
What more?
Another World Series would have been nice, but
Does that count your entire career if you just are in the majors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're going to hold that 1 year in the minor leagues against him? Doggone it.
You interested in doing a guest hit on Balloon Party?
that's so funny.
I'm
Jared.
happy for him.
It's going to be hard to get 200 wins the rest of the way because the pitchers get taken out in the 5th inning now. It's going to be hard. I guess
First ballot
Garrett
Cardinal Hall
Cole
of Famer.
and Johnny Cueto are the next closest, and they both got like 50 wins to get still.
His similarity, guess which pitcher he is most similar to in his career, Doug?
Can I have initials, please?
R.H.
R.H. Ricky
Rich Hill.
Henderson? He didn't pitch much.
Pitched a couple innings.
Oh, Roy Halladay.
Yes, indeed, Plowlock.
I
Dwight
say Rich
Gooden,
Hill.
Jimmy Key, John Lester, and then you remember old Lon Warnicki.
Yeah, I remember the name.
Those are the top 5 pitchers. Also, Dazzy Vance. You played ball with Dazzy Vance at Kirkwood, right?
I didn't. He was a little before my time.
Dave McNally, David Cohn, Max Scherzer, and Tim Hudson. Of those, 2 are Hall of Famers.
Scherzer.
Halladay
Yeah,
and
certainly.
Dazzy Vance, and Scherzer will be.
Yeah.
Don't you see like Wainwright being maybe like a veterans committee type?
I think he
Hall of
could
Famer?
be, and I think it could be not necessarily because solely of his baseball career. I think if he wants to, I think he can be a Tim McCarver-esque broadcaster.
Yeah.
But as you said, Doug, he's got a large family. You saw his son Caleb with him last night as he was addressing the media in the post game. He's, I would gather, 3 or 4 years old, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He may not have the interest in doing that. But if he does, I think he, as you said, I mean, it's kind of whatever he wants to do. I think he could do it. He just has that. He's really a sharp guy, and he's super likable because people like positivity, and he has so much positivity. I mean, anytime he's on with Randy Carricker and Brooke Grimsley and Kerry Davis and Matt Rocchio every Wednesday on 101 ESPN, and everything is always positive. Now, you know, I understand it. He's part of the team, but I think he really believes it. I don't think it's spin. It's how he really, it's not a BS session. Now, I don't see it the same way oftentimes, and I'm sure many fans don't see it the same way. But I think it's genuine, and he's just so damn kind. He busted his ass when he couldn't pitch. He'd be miserable about it. I don't know what else you could ask for, and it's damn near 2 decades of it.
No.
So for it to culminate that way, I just couldn't be happier for him.
And he speaks his mind like he did in that interview with you down at spring training, where he's
he caught a lot of hell for that.
Yeah.
What is that, 2019, I think? It had to have been.
Yeah. Year before COVID.
His career earnings, $170 million.
So he needs to maybe make another $1.5 million to be okay.
He better at least find a way to make $50,000 a year or something.
Oh, he can sucker the Cardinals into getting another $17 million.
But what's their pension now after 10 years? I think it's like $170,000 a year.
I think it's probably more than that. That's what it was when I first heard about it several years ago. I'm sure it's gone up.
Only Iggy could find a way to crap on one of the nicest athletes to come through St. Louis, who's been nothing but gracious and reached a personal milestone that seemed impossible for most of the season. Kurt Warner can go kick rocks, too. What else did he do besides the Super Bowl fraud? That's from KG and O-Town.
Gosh.
Well, that's just so stupid. You're comparing a Super Bowl win to 200 wins. And when did I crap all over Waino? I just said he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I was just a little taken back by how excited the announcers were like it was a World Series. So why don't you listen? Of course, you got nothing to do. You're not here, so I'll listen on the radio.
He will be here. Jackson, you're off next Friday.
Yeah.
And then Plowhawk, you're in Arizona.
Yeah.
So there you go. There'll be a lot of KG and O-Town over there.
For KG, I can work the 29th. I'm not flying out to the evening on that Friday,
Is that
so
right?
I'm able to work that 29th. Yeah.
Well, Jackson, where are you going on Friday?
Next Friday, I'll be in Geneva, Illinois.
What in the world?
You should have just said Geneva and then just
We
period,
thought
you're
Switzerland.
done.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. My buddy has a golf tournament. His family puts on a golf tournament every year around this time. So.
This is Mushmouth?
No, my guy MPK. So me and all my friends, we go up there.
Okay.
And my friends in Chicago come too. And
Another guy's trip, kind of like that cabin thing in Tennessee?
yeah, it's a charity golf tournament. It's a little
Oh, so you're
different.
staying at a hostel?
No, I'm staying at my boy's mom's house.
That sounds bad. I'm going to stay at
Smooth
my
operator.
boy's mom's house.
I mean, that's just the truth.
No, you go have a good time, I guess.
No, that would be fun as hell. I love golf tournaments like that.
Ken, just pretend Waino's achievement is similar to an AI machine rigged to be like a drunk Dillian Harpoon calling you, and maybe you'll be more excited about it. Doug, that's from future Hall of Famer Carlos Spicer.
Well, it wasn't a fake call.
That Dillian Happer?
Yeah, there was one question the one thing she said to me about Leo that nobody would know, except
Leo?
except for her. So it wasn't somebody just.
Leo is who again?
Jennings said he had some great weed.
Oh, it was unreal.
Oh, did you enjoy some of it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Really? How about Leo, Doug?
He was basically a suitcase pimp.
Oh, way more than, yeah.
But there was something I gave her that he took, and only.
What'd you give her?
Only 2 people knew that was him and her. So she
Are
brought.
you getting turned on by this?
What up, Dilly?
What did you give her?
It's no big deal.
What did you give this gal?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, wow.
Well, Leo knows.
But he took it instead of giving it to her. So anyway,
Can we have a clue as to what this might have been?
She mentioned that, so nobody would have known that.
Yeah, I was a naughty little girl. I was.
Why can't we know what this item was? Why can't we know what the item was?
It's nobody's business.
Well, why would Leo have taken it?
I don't know. Maybe he liked it too.
It was a
Good evening. Thanks, Van. I'm television's own Doug Chandler Hill, and I'm here live at the St. Charles Family Arena with our top story.
Yeah, you can do that very easily on AI. But to hold an entire conversation and answer questions and bring stuff up is kind of hard to do on AI.
I don't know.
I don't even know why I'm answering this like I care what you think.
Well, Leo certainly liked that item.
He must have.
What the hell was it?
Is it like the Holy Grail?
I guess.
We're talking like a mink coat. Is it Vera Wang?
You got a live hat on there?
No.
Hey? Oh, you got a live hat?
What do you got there,
I
Doug?
don't think so. It's my son's industrial fan company hat.
Nice.
Chop Air.
I like that. Chops Ritter?
Chops Ritter is CEO.
Head spokesman.
Anyway, I love Wainwright.
But you did not like the enthusiasm surrounding his milestone victory.
I thought it was a little odd. That's just me.
Here is Adam Wainwright on what it means to get the win at home.
All right, hit the lever.
You know what? I do think that having to work as hard as I had to work for it made me savor it that much more, you know. There was a time where I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to keep going, you know, or if they were going to even let me keep going. But I'm sure glad I got to, and I'm glad I turned things around as of late. Try to, you know, maybe make some adjustments, figure out how to pitch with the stuff I'm working with. So, but that's one of the most fun games I've ever pitched in my whole life, you know. Certainly will go down as a top 3 moment for me ever, you know, baseball-wise. So glad I got to do it here in front of our fans.
How about that?
Yeah.
Imagine Beltran and Brandon Enge and that.
No.
I wonder if the Cardinals would have been competitive, like they'd have been a game out of first place, a couple games out of the wild card, if they would have continued to pitch him.
Boy, you are really digging in.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Because he mentioned it,
no.
The Cardinals let me continue to pitch, but I'm wondering if they were...
So, like, if they would have yanked him out of the rotation, if they would have been in the wild card race, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, then you're saying that somebody would have come in and pitched much better than him.
Yeah, but they would have been playing fairly well if they're in the wild card race or right around
so hold
Milwaukee.
on. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Had they been in the wild card race, would they have let him keep pitching?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I see what you're saying on that. Yeah, I mean, the core issue for the Cardinals is they didn't tend their off-season pitching for whatever reason. I still think there may be a legitimate business reason. Still, people probably won't want to hear it. Or that was just absolute malpractice by the front office. Either way, that's what I was wondering. Like, then that means that there's a pitcher somewhere that they could have put him in and pulled him from the rotation. Now, he got here in part because the team was not competitive, and they could trot him out there and go, okay, well, if we lose, what does it matter? You can, you know, once you're out of the playoff mix, you can't get more dead. You're dead. So whatever happens, happens. But credit to him in what might be the final time we see him pitch.
Yeah, if I was him, I think I'd shut it down.
Ricky Horton was talking about that last night on the postgame show with Alexa Dat, you know, and I agree with his thing. This thing about, hey, you should have gone out with Pujols and Molina. I was like, he goes out when he wants to go out, and he was an effective pitcher last year. There's a lot of revisionist history on Adam Wainwright in 2022. He was a damn good pitcher to the point that I think he might have been the Game 1 starter if you would have asked who the Game 1 starter would be at the end of August. He was that good. He just was terrible in September and then didn't even pitch in that Phillies series. So with that all established, if he wants to finish it that way, that's a perfect way to finish it, and then have him, you know, getting at bat on the final weekend, and that'll wrap it up. And maybe that's the way for it to go. I don't know. Obviously, it's his call. The games mean nothing at this point. So God bless him either way. You know, there's, 2 more weeks of irrelevant baseball.
I'd bring him out the last game of the season, let him pinch hit.
Pinch hit? So he can strike out to end his career?
So what? He loved to hit in this DH in both leagues. It takes the hitting away from him. He used to love to hit.
I could see possibly putting him in towards the end of the game in a relief role, letting him face a hitter or throw a pitch, and then let him take one last walk off the mound to an ovation. I could see that thing maybe happening. If I were him, I think I would want to end it on that note, on last night's note.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring him out to pitch again when he gets rocked for 5 or 6 hitters and he goes up. But hey, let him pinch hit. What do you care? They're not going anywhere.
In the 9th inning, I kept expecting to see the cutaway of Wainwright in the dugout.
Yeah, but he wasn't in the dugout.
Watching. Yeah, I wonder
they showed
why.
him going down to the
to
the clubhouse.
But I wonder why he watched it there.
Podcasting the show.
I don't think he was podcasting anything.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, he missed Lisa Ann on Friday, so he wanted to get double back.
Fantasy football advice.
QFT.
Because it took him a while to come out of the dugout.
Yeah, the 2 erratic stories last week.
No, that's not what he was
had to finish
doing.
it up. He did one pregame.
He's catching up on F My Ass Locker.
Is that the title of that one?
That's not what he was doing.
I think it's FMSL.
He could have. It was 2.5 hour
No, it isn't. It just isn't what he was doing.
segment, so maybe he listened to half it before the game to get psyched up for the game, and then afterwards went and listened to the rest
Little dessert.
I don't know.
I got to go finish this.
I
got to go finish Timmy's podcast here.
Absolutely.
Before I start this, I want to say this isn't a shot at Wainwright.
No,
here comes a shot.
Not a shot. But I am excited about the youth movement moving forward. I think it kind of, you know, the Pujols thing was amazing last year with Yachty, but I think it kind of a distraction. It kind of overblown, and I think that just is all the attention that it gotten, especially for Wainwright the last month and a half, 2 months. I'm excited for kind of the youth movement and not have a charity farewell tour, as you would say. Like I'm excited about that. Because the last couple of years we've had that. Watching Pujols.
So you're excited he's leaving?
I think I'm excited that, we could see some young guys, try to step up and see what he does as an ambassador for the team as opposed to, a $17 million ADRA guy. And that's no offense to him. He's had a wonderful career. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer in the Cardinals. But I think it's time that we get that youth movement, especially since we are like one of the worst teams in baseball.
What's amazing is the last day of the season. That's Sunday. Wayno's going to play. I think in a band. They're going to sing.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. But they're giving away probably their best giveaway of the year. And I've been fortunate. I've gotten almost every giveaway this year without going to a game. The listeners are very nice. And if you go and you get that extra guitar, let me know. They're giving away a Wainwright.
Extra guitar?
They're giving away a Wainwright guitar to 25,000 fans. It says it's a playable guitar. It's like 14 inches long.
I think I want to do Man on the Street that day because I think they're going to be. I think they'll line up the night before, and I really want to get a soundbite of what exactly they're doing there for 8 hours.
A 14-inch guitar, that'd be like a little ukulele.
Yeah, but it says playable, but I don't think anybody's going to play it. But the thing is that I checked on eBay, and the game is 2 weeks away. They're already selling it for $120 pre-order now. So this guy already knows he's got like 100 tickets he bought for $8, and he's going to go get in line and get 100 guitars.
Nice margin.
Oh, God.
Well, you're not happy about that.
Not if he doesn't get a guitar.
No, because it takes away from the people that actually want it. When you go buy 75 tickets for $8, and you just go in and out of the turnstile 75 times, and you got all these guitars packed in bags, and you leave, and there's people that get in there and they can't get one. Because they only give away 25,000, and one guy's taking like 75 of them.
Now, if you buy an $8 ticket online, just the fees alone make it like $38, don't they?
I don't think it's that much.
The fees are substantial.
Yeah, but they sell them. They're selling these things for $100, and you already had 3 orders. 3 people have ordered.
I couldn't believe he agreed to the concert aspect of it, though. Like I think the giveaway's cool. I think they're gonna.
He loves to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Every off season he does something like that where he sings. Maybe he'll be a country music singer.
What if he brings that acoustic session?
Oh gosh,
that would be the move.
I haven't heard him sing that much. Is he good enough to be like a?
He sang the national anthem before the opener against the Blue Jays. How do you do?
Yeah, I guess I haven't paid enough attention to know whether he's got the talent to actually be a recording artist.
Damien.
Now, what was that?
Could be one of his hits. I think he's writing some original pieces to this, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. You get to hear like new material.
Well, that would be an interesting twist if he were to become a country music singer.
I thought he was doing
Get
Bob
out of
Bob
baseball
Black Sheep,
completely.
like I said the other day, but I'm pretty sure I read now that he's doing his own songs.
Huh.
Isn't that awesome?
All right.
That's a talent right there, Doug.
Yeah, he's got a lot of things going on.
Well, Jamie Burkhardt has talent, Doug. You're right, and he is the general manager at Alton, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota, and of course St. Louis Acura. That's Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganess, the presenting sponsor of our 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning. After stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com, it's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Doug, what do you love about Munganess?
Oh, I don't know. Everything.
Nice.
They got me driving that Toyota Highlander from Alton Toyota, which is really a sweet SUV. If you're in the market for an SUV, you got to look at the Highlander. It's bigger than they used to be. It's got all the bells and whistles. Got that third row back seat if you want it. Really a fantastic car. And they let me drive it, and I'd like to thank them for that. Wonderful car. Wonderful people.
314-252-0029. And that is how you can call or text Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota. Online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Erin, Doug, with the nipple rings, is in the YouTube chat, and she says that TMA Space T-shirt is fire.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one that is across my chest this morning.
That is good looking.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, it's brand new.
I like that.
Why, that's right across your boy chest.
That's right. That's where you can find it.
You got a little Banty rooster in the corner of it.
TMAS TMASTLshop.com. Yeah, there's a little floating panty rooster out in space. TMASTLshop.com is where you can get it, and the Plowhawks that you can see on YouTube as well. I have that hoodie as well, and it's all available. TMASTLshop.com. And you get 10% off when you check out. There's all different colors. Boy, there's a ruckus out in the hallway. You think there's a scrap?
It's before 8 a.m. I think you need to
take a look.
Quiet down up there.
Is it a party?
That is crazy.
It's a ruckus.
Wow.
They put us right by the flusher and the kitchen.
Doug, they're trying to smoke us out of our holes.
It was Learn.
It wasn't really Learn?
Oh, gosh.
That was so loud.
Tell her to be quiet.
747, the first Learn mention.
Not by me.
No.
Out of anger, though.
All right.
You are literally the only person in St. Louis who cares about the giveaway hog. Stop it. We hear about it once a week on the show. That's from the Crystal City Clam Hammer.
Well, you hear about it again. There's a cheapie that was only $91.85.
Okay. And the whole purpose of this is to give it away to somebody at a bowling tournament, right? That's the whole concern.
Doug, you just cut to the quick.
Yeah.
You just went right.
I mean, it's a nice little
cheat
item.
code.
It's a charity event, and people seem to enjoy the Cardinal giveaways that we have for Gobble Bowl, so they're up on the table.
Yeah,
sorry.
Those guys who actually buy tickets for the giveaways. Now, excuse me while I stay at home and guilt the listeners into bringing me some souvenir toys. That's from Scooter.
Scooter?
Scooter.
Oh.
That's a combination of Gunter and Scooter.
Yeah, I thought it was a German version of
How am I
Scooter.
guilting anybody? Most of these people reach out to me, actually, and say, hey, I got an extra one of these. Do you need a Goldschmidt jersey? I got an extra bobblehead. Do you want it? They reach out to me. So
Big man
I'm
on
sorry.
campus.
Sorry. Maybe next year for Gobble Bowl, I'll just give away 4 things. I won't get any Cardinal giveaways.
Oh, no.
Oh, Doug.
Now we're being threatened.
No, I mean, if you're going to make comments like that, I mean, God forbid I try to get some nice things for the charity giveaway. But
Mets have nothing to hold their heads down for, except they didn't play that well, and they gave away this World Series.
that's probably the guy that stole the Pujols ball 1 year off the table.
Someone stole the
Oh,
ball?
yeah, I remember that. Why are people so bad at life?
Just in general, yeah. Humans are bad people.
What I feel bad, it was Ryan Kelly's. He had bought some raffle tickets, and I just had my niece watch his tickets, and he got the Pujols ball, and I had it in a box with some other things that people had won that weren't there, and go back, and somebody just walked by, took the Pujols ball, and just left.
I'll be darned.
It wasn't anybody who was bowling for, in our thing, it was somebody who was there just wandering around the bowling alley.
Yeah.
St. Charles Hoosier.
Well, these people need to be stopped and dealt with accordingly.
So anyway, if you want to come out and yell, if you want to come out and yell at me on November 18th and bash me for all the things on the table, I'll be out there. Cave Springs Lanes, come on out and say hi.
People just come in and start screaming at you because of what you have
lay money
laid
down on
out
the
there.
table. And just
Those are the things you begged for.
Oh, man.
Well, I hope you get your guitar.
Who is displaying these bobbleheads anyway? Middle-aged sad dads in their basement bars next to their bourbon displays while their wife is upstairs selling charcuterie boards to their vapid friends. Doug, that's from the Birthday Hawk. Is that what's going on?
I think so, to some degree, yeah.
Don't forget
some
smoking
people,
the
a lot
finest.
of people like bobbleheads.
Yeah, they're fun when you get them and then you take them home and you go, okay, what do I do with it now? Now it's clutter.
I mean, if you're somebody who just enjoys bobbleheads, usually display it. I've been to some people's man caves that have like 50, 60 bobbleheads on the shelves. They look kind of cool. But if you're people like this guy buying 80 tickets for guitars, you're putting them on eBay. You really don't care about bobbleheads.
Oh.
I had a bunch of them that Dave Green had. I don't know if you remember. I think, yeah, you guys were still at 590 when Dave was there. And in his desk, he had all these bobbleheads. He had like 75 bobbleheads displayed. And when he left there, he texted me, he goes, Iggy, you can have all those bobbleheads. Oh, great. Because I'd collected bobbleheads too. So I went in there one night and I just cleaned it out and put it in a box. And Katie, who used to be, I guess, the office manager there.
Katie.
Sales manager, whatever. She said, did you take all those bobbleheads? I said, yeah, Dave gave them to me. That's 590 property. We need those back. I said, I don't think they're 590 property. I said, they were given to Dave. But they were in our office, so they're ours. She made me bring all the bobbleheads back.
Oh.
I tore the heads off a few.
Oh, why? Why so spiteful?
Well, they really weren't yours. You were being spiteful because Dave gave them to me, so I just kind of broke a few of them.
Oh, gosh.
Daddy Padre says, man, Iggy is wild about this Waino stuff. Dougie's back.
Mm-hmm.
Could he be the Blues' new captain announced today at 11:30?
No, it's got to be Shen, right? There's nobody else.
Shen is winning Jeremy Rutherford's Gallup poll. He did a Gallup poll on the Twitter tweets. About 75%. Robert Thomas getting the other 25%.
You know when they're
Seems like a
doing Gallup polls for captains? Team's weak.
Oh, come on.
No.
Team's
Bill.
weak, but you need a rebuild.
Oh, no.
You need a
Bill.
rebuild. That's why they won a cup, and you kind of got to, they made a mistake letting Petrangelo go, which I thought at the time was a good idea. I was with them in that camp. So you just got to rebuild it, and you gave 2 giant contracts to 2 young, up-and-coming guys. Got to see if it pays off. They are not going to be very good, though, Doug.
Well, I don't know.
If Bennington shines.
Maybe they'll surprise us.
Maybe.
Yeah, Bennington's not a choice. I know Goldie's usually aren't captains, but he's probably one of the most feisty guys on the team.
Yeah, wrong personality. Wrong personality.
Really? Don't you want somebody feisty in there?
No, you want a calm leader who can
not a C.
Take the young guys under his wing when he has to,
I
and
think that's
speak to the team and speak
What
with
about
the media.
Bortuzzo?
It should be the opposite. Somebody who's out there sticking up for him and
Shen
slashing
does
people.
that. Shen does all that.
I don't want a quiet guy like him. Come on, guys, we can do it. I want a guy who's going to get fiery in there.
Well, we've seen Shen fight guys to protect other teammates.
I haven't seen a game in a while, so I haven't seen that.
Okay.
There's the analysis. Nathan from the east side of Alton wants a follow-up on this Dave Green desk story.
What's a follow-up? I told you
How big of a desk does a gentleman need to have in order to store 75 bobbleheads in
That's
said
a
desk?
lot of bobbleheads.
That story was a total lie. That's Nathan from the east side of Alton.
He had them all behind him, too. He had them on the desk. He had them behind him on the table. He had them on the shelves. He had them all over the place.
Did he?
You ever see the old Mike and Mike show? How big was that? How big was that table they had? They had bobbleheads all over the place.
Where did he get all these bobbleheads?
People gave them to him. Then he gave them to me, and they took them back.
And after you broke them.
I know Dave Green isn't listening, but if you are, Dave, call in and verify this story, please.
I'm sure he'd love to call in.
How many do you think you broke?
I'm going to text him, tell him to call in. Huh?
How many of these bobbleheads do you think you broke?
4 or 5.
Did that make you feel good?
Yeah, it did. Say, hey, you want them back? You're going to have some in 2 pieces.
Oh.
Hey, Tim and Iggy, I'd like to offer a night with that gaped coal mining pig for Gobble Bowl auction, who is doubling now as the pivot man for all the first mates while the crabbing fleet is out to sea. He can go down on multiple men during a storm under deck. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves, and that's Jackson's buddy, Sweet Kai, now, Doug, and he's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something about the recovering alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
He has an inn. He donated dinner for 4 with wine pairing at a 4-course meal at Olive and Oak for Gobble Bowl, so thank you.
Yeah, he's a good cat. ILL.
Yeah, Doug.
With a wine pairing.
Yeah, it's like a chef's table almost. 4-course meal.
Yeah, how many charcuterie boards made by desperate housewives?
Now, there's a lot of anger about Jordan Bennington's name pronunciation by Iggy, which was Bennington. I mean, full-on rage.
Oh, that's where I live.
Nathan from the east side of Alton said you said it was inside of his desk.
Inside of his... What, he kept them in the drawers?
I don't know.
Come on. And I'm so used to saying where I live.
I need some warm milk and some cookies.
Off of
I need
Bennington.
some cookies and some milk.
Bennington.
You
Sounds
sit one
the
out.
same. Oh, you people are nitpickers.
Oh.
So, texting Dave Green.
They really want to know how big Iggy's desk is. I don't get that.
Blues talk already. Hockey just ended. That sport sucks. Go NBA. That's from Dirty Chewbacca.
Gosh.
Is Jackson Dirty Chewbacca?
I don't know that that's him.
No. I've learned my lesson.
It didn't just end for the Blues. They've been out, since April?
That's right. Guys, really surprised there's no talk of Chris Nagel yesterday. Dude got a T5 at the Simmons, moved up 30 spots, and into the top 120 to continue his season.
Oh, good.
That is sweet. I
thought we did talk about that briefly.
I watched Nagel Tracker. I was curious to see how he finished.
Yeah, he's moved up to, I think, 91st with 2 tournaments left. And if you finish in the top one, if you finish 120 or above, you have status on the Corn Ferry Tour next year. Exempt status on the Corn Ferry Tour. So, unless he finishes dead last the last 2 weeks.
What about getting a PGA Tour card? I don't follow how this works.
Top 30.
So he's got to go top 30? Can he go top 30? Is that realistic?
I mean, he finished...
So he's top 30 this weekend?
No, there's 2 tournaments left this week, and then I think you have to be in the top 70 going into next week, and then the top 70 play the final Corn Ferry Tour Championship, and then after that, the top 30 get their PGA Tour card.
So he needs 2 top 5s or a win in the top 5.
A win would do it. But if he could finish 2nd, 5th, I think it'd get him into the top... I don't think it's going to get him in the top 30. But the main thing now for him is just to secure a playing privileges on the Corn Ferry Tour next year for the entire year, because this year he's kind of like have to go through the shuffle and playing 7, and if he plays well he gets another 2. 120 he can play every week if he wants.
Well, I hope he does well, because I feel like we took a lot of wind out of his sails.
Well, he was rocked by was it 6 and 5? I think it was.
Yeah,
he missed 10 straight cuts after he just think if he doesn't, I mean, his last 4 weeks, I think he's finished 16th, 16th, 9th, and 5th. Before that, he missed 10 straight cuts after we beat him.
He was, I think he had a back injury. I was watching an interview he did, and he had a back injury earlier in the year. He needs a top 5 to get into the final event this weekend.
Okay.
So there you go. Mr. 63011, who watched us play Nagel with that information. So that's Meadowbrook Inside Word. Yesterday on my morning walk, I watched a guy whip out his ween and release his brine on the side of a building whilst holding his Bud Ice Tall Boy in the other hand. I made unfortunate contact with him, too. Viva la Baltimore. That's some sweet, sweet guy.
Oh, he's in Baltimore.
He is, yeah. He moved out of the coal mines.
And he saw that in Babe Ruth's hometown.
Guys, I'm surprised you haven't talked about how I had my ass licked for the first time this Sunday.
Oh.
I bet the wife an ass lick when the Giants were down 20-0 that they would win. And wow, I now get why this is so popular. I went on all 4 knees. Went on all 4s, no knees above the head. Thank you, Giants, and thank you, Tim. That's from Caller Buzz.
We didn't need any of that. None of that did we need, Buzz.
Fun comeback for the Giants, though.
Buzz is off the rails. We trusted Buzz.
He got the Milagro Tequila Lister of the month.
Right. And he's gone completely off the rails. I don't know what this doctor fed him, but boy, it wasn't good for him.
What's our call-in number?
Doug, it's 636-9004-TMA.
You're going to try to get Dave Green to call in to give us the bobblehead story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we need it?
Well, there may have been something I missed.
Maybe call Katie and have her call in and give her side of the story.
No, I don't know where she is.
This is how I want the Dave Green call to go right now.
Career. I mean, that's one that...
Jackson, tell the people about Mark Hanna, because he's with Evergreen Wealth Strategies, and it's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, Tim, because he is the great communicator. You'll talk with Mark Hanna, and you'll be like, man, it's so unbelievable how great he is at communicating.
That's what you're going to say?
That's I put it on mute, and I say that to myself. Every time I get on the phone with Mark Hanna.
Enjoy that idea.
He's just speaking English, right?
Right, but it's for me, finances can stress people out. It stresses me out sometimes. Planning for the future can be a little bit daunting, but having someone like Mark Hanna in your corner is so important. Everyone needs that person in their life that they can lean on, like you can lean on for financial advice, or if you have questions down the road, you need to change up your plan. Working with someone like Mark Hanna is so key. I'm really excited that I got started doing it early, but it doesn't matter where you are in your life, you can work with Mark Hanna. He can help you out in a major, major way. You get on the phone with Mark, you're going to feel better getting off that call than when you got on it, and that's why I work with Mark Hanna. That's exactly why you should work with Mark Hanna.
There it is, Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. That's Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies. evergreenstl.com. And CD Longo and Doug Biggs of longobigs.com would like to help our audience. They are TMA listeners, and you can go to longobigs.com to work with them. CD Longo and Doug Biggs of the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm will take all the complication and hassle out of your injury claim. They will deal with the insurance company and take the fight head on, allowing you to get back to what's important, which is recovering from your injuries. CD and Doug are trial lawyers. I mean, they won't settle if there is an obstacle, a complication in your case. In fact, most cases have them, and Doug and CD will overcome those obstacles and take your case all the way to trial if necessary. In injury cases, there can be a lot of money on the line, and you shouldn't trust your case with just anyone. When you're injured by someone else's negligence, justice is paid in dollars, and CD and Doug will fight to get you every dollar you deserve. It's Longo Biggs Injury Law, accepting personal injury, wrongful death, brain injury, and other catastrophic injury cases. Go online at longobiggs.com. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. We are in the Michelob Ultra Studios. Michelob Ultra, sponsor of the TMA Hit and Giggle, and that is coming your way on Friday, October 6th at Family Golf and Learning Center. Your $55 ticket will include 9 holes of golf, beer for Michelob Ultra, and lunch or dinner, depending on your tee time. Tee times are at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. It's also presented by Munganess, St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, and Family Golf and Learning Center. It is the TMA Hit and Giggle Friday, October 6th. Doug, maybe I'll play in the 10 o'clock tee time and the 3 o'clock. I was out there last night and just got some short game work in. Had that short game area to myself. Oh, how do you do?
Huh. Are we going to do the show from there that day?
I don't know. I'll listen to whatever our bosses tell us.
How else would you get there at 10?
I would imagine then we would do the show. It would have to stand to reason, unless we just say, you know what, we'll sleep in that day. We'll all sleep together.
No, we won't.
And then we'll camp out right by the short game area.
We could sleep down there by the river.
Oh, yeah.
Right by the Merrimack, the shores of the Merrimack that night.
Gators.
Well, they don't have gators, but you probably got mosquito or two.
So the first tee time is 10, right?
That's right.
2:30?
3:30, I thought, right?
Well, there's going to be a lot of time in between. I mean, it shouldn't take more than an hour and a half to play.
I wouldn't think so, no.
Yeah, time to sit around and
have lunch there.
Get working.
Eat some lunch. Tim can go up and make all kinds of money in the short game area.
Yeah. Best of luck to whoever wants any piece of my ass.
I'll go stretch out my arm.
You'll get it ready for 2:30.
Get ready for that $1.80 drive.
Huh. You're already kind of lowering expectations.
Well, I can't bring the club all the way back, so
no, for
whatever.
Sakes.
I said I would try it, so I'll try it.
Okay.
It's inspirational.
You can't even do a full backswing?
I get it to about here.
Then what happens?
Then it kind of stiffens up.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
No, I don't know. I just don't know.
I like that hat, though.
Man.
Everything you see here is for sale. Whatever you'd like. I have a rent-to-own option, too, if some of this stuff is too pricey.
You layaway stuff?
Yeah.
That's right. So
Doug,
tags on it.
I'm told this could be Dave Green calling in.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably a Shrewsbury butter squirrel.
We don't know.
Yeah. Hello?
Hello, caller.
Hello?
Boys.
Yeah, there you go.
That's not Dave Green. That was it? That wasn't Dave Green. Gosh.
No, it wasn't.
Those are the kind of people that are complaining because we're on at 7:08, not 7:07.
I got really high there for or something, I just said hello.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the Imperial March?
I mean, is that
I don't know. That was great.
It's like in 6th grade where you make prank phone calls. Is your refrigerator running?
Mm-hmm.
Better go catch it.
Our system to get on the air here. It's a fortress.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever call a bowling alley and say, do you have 16-pound balls? Well, yes, we do. Oh, what size jock you wear?
Wow, Doug.
It was Doug's Glue Guzzler, and he's back on hold. And I thought it might have been, he said DG, and I thought it was either Doug's Glue Guzzler or Dave Green.
Doug, this is Doug's Glue Guzzler.
Okay. Hello, Guzzler.
Boys.
It's still going.
It never stops.
Darth Vader is walking in.
What up, boys? What up?
Well, what are you doing?
Driving to work.
Okay.
I got a cornucopia of topics. Would that be the right way to use that word?
All right. Just hit them quickly, please.
For one, hey, Iggy, I actually saw Iggy at the grocery store. I just have one question. Iggy, do you wear a mask to actually try to not get noticed?
No. I still wear a mask when I'm in places that have a bunch of people in it.
You're kidding.
Legit. I just
ask
thought it'd be
so I do.
super
I don't
funny
care.
if you wore it to not get noticed.
Well, I wear it too because it's kind of classy. It's kind of like the polo bear. You know, the polo little teddy bear with the golf outfit on.
A mask is classy?
Oh, that one is.
Well, I can spot that.
I took it down to talk to you, though. I took it down to talk to you.
You did. Well, good to see you.
Did you notice the upside down pineapple in my cart, too?
I did not notice that, but maybe my senses were tingling.
If
you had threesomes recently, bro?
Yeah, actually, that's why I call. It turns out I haven't called in a while because I actually only tell stories that are real, and in real life, you don't have threesomes every other week. So
is that an attack on caller Buzz?
A little bit. Yeah.
You don't think his wife's fingering him?
Oh,
I think. Well, the story about falling into like a really creepy middle-aged couple, that is a very realistic situation in this world. So that I do believe in.
Where do you run into these couples?
Okay, so my wife actually wanted to go to a lifestyle party, and I tried to, and this is a year and a half ago, so I tried to explain to her that most of the time when we go to one of these, that the options are going to be very scarce, and she really just didn't want to believe me, so we did go to one.
No, I just have a follow-up real quickly, caller Buzz, or not caller Buzz. This is Dave Green. The options are scarce because there aren't a lot of people there, or there are a lot of people there, but it's a bad like BMI situation or what have you.
The latter. There.
Oh, is that right?
The latter.
Okay.
Yeah, and I tried to warn her. Like I just knew it was going to be like that, and she didn't believe me. So we went, and it was exactly how I thought. Honestly, a little worse than I thought.
More cellulite than you had anticipated?
Oh, Tim, so much cellulite.
So I gather this party was in St. Louis or like at the lake?
No, Kansas City, actually.
Ah, well, 6 in one hand.
And your wife thought it would be like going to a party in Hollywood after the Oscars or something?
I guess. I think she thought there were going to be a lot of people our age, and she soon found out that we're a rarity in this world right now.
And how old are you Doug's Glue Guzzler?
Very early 30s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what was she looking for? Was she looking to scissor?
No. Oh.
Actually, we have a double-ended toy that that Lisa talked about last week. She talked about how good it was. I'd just like to confirm that with Lisa, that it is very fun. Not with me. I have a different purpose in those positions than using the toy, but it can result in a variety of fun activities.
So are you constantly engaging in the less popular MFF?
That's the only thing we engage in, which is why I was actually another topic. I don't think our relationship, even though we're non-monogamous, I would not consider us swingers.
Iggy, do you have a problem with that?
I mean, what were you doing in Kansas City? I mean, you're going to a swingers party, weren't you? Were you at a swingers party in Kansas City?
Yes, but we were. See, my wife was thinking we would pick up an open laugh there, and again, I tried to warn her that was not. Obviously, that was not what happened.
Well, I mean, if you go to a swingers party, you would consider yourself swingers, wouldn't you?
Well, right now we've only had MFF, so what would you consider that?
That's still swinging. You just prefer. I mean, the couples that always pick me up at Hito, they're swingers.
The couples that pick you up.
Check the text line.
They're swingers.
Check the text line. What is Mr. Smith saying?
Let's see. The people are texting in. Well, it turns out no one cares. Put your mouth around your exhaust and die, or try hard on par with the seminary student. Cut his mic. That's from the Table Rock Lake Monster. Doug's Glue Guzzler needs to get through his list of topics because it's time for the WWE Wrestling Recap. I believe that comes from Larry Nickel, who texts in to the program when he's not happy that we're not putting him on. Let's see. Now, this is interesting, Doug's Glue Guzzler. Does this gentleman want to get the wives together to see if we can facilitate some tribbing? If so, I may have a taker. Wow.
Where's that from?
It just says 314.
Well, that's not going to help.
Well, I mean, the phone number is stored, but they don't have a name stored.
Yeah, we're going to give the phone number to
tell them to
Glue
send
Guzzler?
a DM of his wife to Iggy, and then I'll reach out to Iggy and get the.
Yeah, I bet you like that play.
I don't want to get involved in that.
Oh, why not?
Well, there's just too many bad things that could happen and nothing good for me.
Big Tough says, hey guys, this guy's stories are as real as Ken's. Dave with the cauliflower says this guy has to be on the Mount Rushmore of TMA try-hard losers. And for TMA, that's elite company. Mr. Lick says, is this the guy who's short and slightly overweight and people say he looks like John Rahm to be nice about it? That's from Mr. Lick.
He does look like John Rahm.
He does?
Yeah. I think he does. He's not fat.
Now, you got something from the Swing Haven board member. Boys, Doug's Glue Guzzler is spot on regarding lifestyle parties. The best way to handle the lifestyle is to find your own tribe and keep them close. That's from the Swing Haven board member. Have you found your tribe, Doug's Glue Guzzler?
Our tribe, we definitely have a couple girls that we've met up with that we do reoccurring situations with.
Now, it used to be one in Kansas City, as I recall. Do you have anyone locally? And if so, could you pass that along to me?
We've lost Miss Kansas City.
What happened there?
We do have a new Mrs. STL that we are currently playing around
Now, you
with.
said Mrs. Is she married?
Oh, no, sorry, Miss STL.
Okay. So how did you meet her?
So another thing, you mentioned field last week. Good.
Somebody texted in. I had never heard of that. Doug, is it
Yep,
F-E-E-L-D or is it F-I-E-L-D?
I just don't know. I just don't know.
Ooh, good question. That
I
app's on
before
my wife's
E,
phone,
except
not
after
sure.
C. And
Yeah.
except
Or on
neighbor
threesome
and-
apps.
Neighbor and way.
Good app. Other good app that honestly has been where all of our successes come from in this world is the 3 Fun app.
3 Fun. And now, what's the crop of people? I mean, is it older and a little bulkier?
No.
Really?
I mean, yes, you can find that for sure. So maybe that's why I don't have stories every week because we're a little picky, but we have found plenty of beautiful unicorns on the street.
Of course you have. Of course you have.
I'm going to start a fake Tinder account today to see what happens.
I thought you already did this sketch.
No. But this time I'm going to do single guy looking for a swinging couple that would like a single male to cuck the husband.
That's what Jackson did that last
So
August
you're
on Balloon
absolutely
Party.
never going to get a swipe.
On Balloon Party, you did that?
Yes. Didn't you offer your stick up for love on 101?
Yeah, but that was like a month ago.
It's
fresh in history.
Yeah, so, well, I mean,
I didn't know
on
you did that. I'm
yeah,
gonna
but we
steal
covered
your stuff
HD1.
like
We haven't
others.
done on HD2. Bigger
Yeah.
audience HD2.
Well, you already done it. I'm not going to steal your stuff like some people.
Who are these people?
That's a shot right
who
there.
else is
Wow.
That
throwing
was a
it in
shot.
there?
It was such a
That was a fadeaway.
backdoor breaking ball.
Right in the face.
I'd rather read a Cox post than listen to this call that's from the Wentzville Ween Peaker. What's a Cox post?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's a Cox post on the fan page.
But you're not on the fan page.
No, but when I was on there, he posted quite a bit. So
Licks is spot on. This is Try Hard City up in here. That's from DraftKings Cal. Doug's Glue Guzzler, I personally am enamored by your stories, and you say the 3 Fun app is where our audience should go to have threesomes.
Absolutely. For one, DraftKings Cal, we play video games together. Fuck off.
Oh, pot him down! Oh, cut his mic! Oh,
Can we be done with listeners for the day?
oh.
They're kind of becoming the
He just told a
superstars,
guy
and now
that-
they're just effing around.
he
and
told a guy to F off who he plays video games with.
Pot him down.
I'm done.
That's a defeated bottom down.
I'm done with calling today. So
That's it?
outside of Larry, because I know Larry good. Yeah. Don't take a day. I'd take a day and have
Gosh.
them really understand.
I don't think I've ever heard Larry cuss. Even out in,
Oh, I think I.
even
I
out in
think
public, I
have.
never heard him cuss.
Well, that's good.
Love me some Larry.
Does this guy have any SEC crude takes? That's from Alan Dadeville. This fraud is a liar. Hang up and frolic your way through 270 morning rush hour blindfolded. That's from
I like
Sesame
DGG.
Timbers.
No, I think his are real.
He's a good dude.
This guy's a complete loser. That's from Dirty Chewbacca.
So the listeners aren't happy with him.
No. Rarely are callers welcomed by our
Yeah.
audience,
Not
however,
many.
in
Not
the
many.
history of the program. Hey, Rut, I know you're busy making sure all these stations get on the air, but can you take a look at my Jitterbug Cricket Wireless Android phone and help me set up a fake Tinder account so I can pretend to be looking for a unicorn to have an MFF with? That's from KJ in O-Town.
That's funny.
Even if Jackson did something similar, you need to do this because we need to hear the stories if you have
Yes.
any success.
I'll get no swipes on it.
Oh, you definitely
Tinders
won't.
are. I think Tinder's changed now. Isn't it like people looking for relationships,
I don't know what it
not
is.
just a hookup?
But if you show that picture of you with the guitar out there by that fountain, you will get plenty of swipes.
There'll be people asking, can you at least sign that picture for me? I don't want to do anything with you, but I need a picture signed.
You think that's what you'd get?
Can you imagine that is your demographic?
OMG! I am watching on YouTube, and my 4-year-old is with me here. I bet she is going to do drugs now.
No.
What was that? That's from Larry Thornton.
So they heard that on YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you hear it on
That could be the end. This is the end.
Well, if you have your
My
4-year-old
friend.
listening to
My
the show,
only friend, the end.
parenting tips for you.
I dumped it on the
Mother, yes, son.
as long as
On the radio station.
yeah, we're good with that.
Okay.
F this and F that, the F word.
Yeah.
And a 4-year-old would never not even know what that word is.
Yeah, I know one.
Well, yeah.
Do we have Larry Nickel, since he's texting in happy with Doug's Glue Guzzler? Good morning, Larry.
Hey, guys.
Well, hello,
Well,
Larry.
I'd like to apologize to you for hearing the F word.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Larry, how about if we just say your segment is sometime between 7 and 9?
Okay, I tried calling in before 8 o'clock.
Yeah. That way we won't act like we're pushing you off.
Did you find Doug's Glue Guzzler's story to be hot?
No.
No, I didn't either. No. Just because we don't believe it.
I do.
Right.
It's believable as wrestling.
Oh,
It's not believable either.
No.
Wrestling is real.
It isn't. It isn't.
What are you talking about, Doug?
It seems to get less real every time I see a little bit of it. It looks like it's geared to a very, very young audience.
I saw a clip the other day that popped up on my phone of Vince McMahon beating his daughter Stephanie with a lead pipe and then choking his wife. Is that real? Because if it is, he got arrested, I'm sure.
It's real to us fans, but not in real life.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. That's a good explanation.
All right. Gotcha then. So what happened last evening on the presentation proper?
Well, last night there was an NXT women's title match between Becky Lynch, who is the latest woman to win all 4 WWE titles.
Doug, you know what her nickname is?
What?
The Man.
The Man. So she's
That's
a beast
man,
of a woman?
baby.
No, she
is
station operating in bankruptcy within 90 days.
She is very attractive, and I love the accent.
Okay.
It's Gaelic. Did you say Gaelic or Celtic?
I think it's more Celtic than it is Gaelic.
You think it's
Okay. I wouldn't know the difference, really. I really wouldn't.
But anyway,
Okay.
she did what her husband usually does and issues a open challenge to anybody who wants to take the NXT Women's title from her, and it happened to be Natalya, and of course Becky Lynch wins the match and retains the NXT Women's title.
Sick.
What is NXT? Is that different than WWE?
Yeah, that's part of WWE. It's just their developmental brand.
Okay. It stands for Next. Is that NXT, Next?
No, that was when they had that quote unquote game show aspect of NXT. It was there for the next big out star.
Oh, okay.
But it morphed from that into what it is now, an actual wrestling promotion within WWE.
Gotcha. Okay.
Doug, it was a metamorphosis. Fun.
Sure was. Well, was that the only thing of note that happened during the presentation proper?
Well, there were 2 matches that ended in disqualification.
No. Okay.
Now, the
One of
officiating's
which-
gotten better lately, I feel like.
Yeah, one of which was Ricochet versus Shinsuke Nakamura. And by the way, side fact, Ricochet was originally born in my hometown of Illinois.
Oh, is that
No,
right?
was he really?
Good fun fact.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, Ricochet lost
He
by
agreed with you.
disqualification because he used his steel chair that Shinsuke Nakamura originally introduced into the match.
Why do you suppose they keep so darn many steel chairs under the ring? What would the possible purpose of that be?
Doug, this steel chair was not underneath the ring.
Where was it?
It was stowed away in the timekeeper's area.
Oh, okay. It just seems so tempting for these stormy combatants.
Well, I have guests come up every once. They have, contract signings. They need to bring them up on stage.
Sure, they do. Okay.
And then the other match that was decided by disqualification was a women's tag team match that pitted the currently defending women's tag team champions, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, versus Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. The disqualification came when Nia Jax, who came back last week and beat up Rhea Ripley, she manhandled Piper Niven outside the ring, which caused the disqualification. And then Nia Jax came in the ring and manhandled the other three women. And she's putting the women's division on notice because apparently she wants the Women's World Championship.
Oh, okay. So she just came in and just cleaned house.
Yes.
Sometimes that's required, apparently.
And then put WD on notice.
No, it's just the women's division.
Okay.
You have the top 5 countries?
Yes, I do, Tim. Thanks for asking.
No problem.
Love to hear them.
Number 5 will be Chile.
Okay.
Not the restaurant.
Gotcha.
I had to clarify.
Number 4 will be Greenland.
Greenland. Okay.
Boy, just really extreme southern nation and then extreme northern nation.
It's just fun.
Number 3 will be Australia, which is both a country and continent.
Yeah, Australia's been having a good third quarter, I've noticed.
It's a hybrid.
Well, it's their GDP.
Yeah, number 2 will be Canada. Number 1, wait for it. United States of America.
Yes! Yes.
Good to see.
Hanging on by a fingernail.
Larry, God bless you, and God bless these United States of America.
Yeah, God bless America.
There he is.
Bye,
He's
Nixie.
lost in the business. Larry Nickel with us here. Daddy Padre is arguing with Aaron with the nipple rings in the YouTube chat, Doug. She says, NBA is better than hockey. Fight me. And he says, in what way? So you can go in there and enter that debate. Take a side.
Gosh.
Well, maybe she likes basketball better. How's that for an answer?
Well, that was a quick argument.
Yeah, it's not that tough.
Don't know if there's a lot of controversy to that one.
Well, you like what you like. Some people like things, and some people don't like other things.
Mm-hmm.
And you can like both, but just like one more than the other. That's okay, too. That's kind of where I am.
I like watching cricket. Fight me.
You like watching cricket?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really? Where do you see that?
Yeah, ESPN will show it every once in a while.
They will?
FS1 will show it every once in a while.
From India?
Not always from India. West Indies is a very good team. That's not India, but it's usually West Indies, Caribbean teams that are really good at it.
What is it about cricket that you enjoy?
It's just, it's kind of like baseball.
Camaraderie.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it first time I saw it when I lived in Bermuda. They closed the island down for 2 days for cricket matches.
Did you ever play?
Yeah. It's kind of like baseball.
Let me guess, you were great at it?
No, I was just, all I do is try to hit the ball backwards. Because you can go either way. Some people try to hit the ball in between the outfielders, or you can hit home runs, but if you hit it behind the catcher, he's got to go catch. There's nobody behind there, so he's got to run all the way and get it. So you just try to foul one backwards. And while he's running to go get it, you're just going back and forth from the wickets.
Wickets. I like that. Wicket style.
Okay.
Is that Ice Cube? Wicked?
I don't know who it is, Tim.
I think it is. Jeff Lotman's Wicked.
Lottmann.
That's right. Like we're in Southie. JEFFLOTTMANN.com. That's JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Jeff Lotman. Compass Realty. And he is a loyal TMA listener and now a loyal TMA sponsor. It's Jeff Lotman. And he's been doing it for 22 years in the St. Louis area. $500 million in sales. Jeff Lotman of Lotman Realty. If you are looking to buy a home or to sell your home, work with Jeff. It is so important to have a great real estate agent in a unique real estate estate market right now, and you can work with one of the best in the area, and his name is Jeff Lotman. He's an advertiser here on TMA. He's with Compass Realty, and that's a luxury brand, and he went to Compass to start St. Louis's Compass office and expand the luxury brand. And luxury's not about price. Luxury's about experience. Think about that.
No, it's not about price. It is about experience.
That's right. That's
Gotcha.
exactly what it is.
Okay.
And that's what Jeff Lotman, Compass Realty, offered. JEFFLOTTMANN.com. That's JEFFLOTTMANN.
Now he's got 3 double letters there: the F's in Jeff, the T's and the N's in Lotman. Why do you suppose that's a thing? We don't need those extra letters.
Jeff, call in and explain it. Defend yourself.
Well, it's not just him. There are other people that have double letters that aren't really necessary. Why do you think that's part of the language?
Well, you're like bashing Wainwright for a 200th win, kind of. It's a sponsor. You can do whatever you
No,
want.
it's not just him. It's just any name that has, like, your
it's
last name,
anybody.
MANN at the end. What's the deal with the second N?
I have 2 T's at the end of my last name.
Why?
Think about that.
You don't need it.
I don't know.
Maybe that's how they spelled it.
Etymology, Doug. We talked about it yesterday.
No, it's not the study of insects.
That's entomology. I'm talking etymology.
A lot of times when you come over, you get into Ellis Island, they change the way they spell it.
That's correct. When you go through Ellis Island now.
I suspect those are names that they didn't change, and they're spelled differently in German than they are
Most
here.
of the immigrants that came over to Ellis Island.
I wear that Mick like a scarlet letter. Still discriminated against.
But it's not MCCKERNAMANN.
There's no
NNANN. You don't need 2 N's. You don't need 2 C's. Why sometimes do we give it 2 letters?
Jackson.
Maybe they did just like Corleone. They changed his name to Corleone.
Well, I
That
understand
wasn't his name, but they changed it when
I
he came to Ellis
understand it
Island.
gets changed, but I don't think people are adding letters when they came to Ellis
Or if
Island.
you're young, and how do you spell that? They didn't know. They just started putting T's and M's in there, and Jeff's, FF's.
I don't think so.
Jeff.
I think mostly they're probably German names that had those extra letters. It's really something interesting to dive into.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that in the upcoming 8 o'clock hour.
Okay.
Tease it.
It is 8:28. We'll close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Jackson and I will have Taylor Twellman with us coming up, brought to you by Together Credit Union on Balloon Party, and of course talk it over with Adam, about Adam Wainwright. That's coming away on 101 ESPN. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I am here with a wonderful sponsor of TMA, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And this is something that I experienced, as a matter of fact, years ago. If you get a call from an insurance agency, if you were in an accident, they are not necessarily working on your side. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Tim. I mean, in almost every case, there's going to be an insurance company involved. You know, they typically insure whoever caused the injuries to you by the person or the business that caused it. And unfortunately, from the moment your case begins, the insurance company is actually working against you, trying to minimize their payout. You might get a call from like somebody who seems like to be a really nice person who's just trying to see how you're doing, but their goal is actually to get some information out of you to turn around and use it later to show that you're not as hurt as you actually are. Insurance companies have specialized systems and thousands of workers who follow a playbook to pay you as little money as possible when you're hurt. This is Doug Biggs, and my injury law firm hates insurance companies and their deceitful tactics, and we'll make a fair fight out of it. Visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at TMASTL.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's right. rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
With the fall's cool weather upon us, we hope you'll let Lee May Concrete Block help you with all your landscaping projects. We have been a locally owned and operated manufacturer since 1947, priding ourselves on the quality of our products and the customer service we provide. Lee May Block offers a complete line of fireplaces, outdoor living kits, decorative retaining wall blocks, ready-mix concrete, masonry block, as well as concrete parking curbs and air conditioning slabs. Please come visit our showroom off South Broadway at 326 East Courtois or visit us online at leemayblock.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Illinois Recovery Center is the new premier inpatient substance abuse facility in Swansea, Illinois. When it comes to the disease of addiction, getting help should not be as difficult as it currently is. The Illinois Recovery Center's mission is to be the receiving hand in the community when someone seeks help. The IRC delivers a comprehensive system of care that welcomes both the individual struggling and family alike. If you or someone you know wants to learn about the Illinois Recovery Center, please call 888-472-9559 or email info@illinoisrecoverycenter.com.
All right, here we go. Here's something new. Announcing the first ever TMA Hit and Giggle. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Benefiting the Megan Meyer Foundation. Friday, October 6th at Family Golf and Learning Center. It's a 9-hole par 3 tournament full of threesomes. Oh, geez. And it's a walking course, so if you're a walrus, start getting in shape. Your $55 ticket includes 9 holes, beer from Mich Ultra, and lunch or dinner depending on your tee time. Plus shipping and putting contest for our degenerate gamblers. You'll also get to see Iggy's Long Drive Challenge. Brought to you by Souder Appraisal. Can he hit it 210, 220, maybe 223? Who knows? But it should be a fun day no matter what. The first ever TMA Hit and Giggle. Brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer. And Family Golf and Learning Center. They make St. Louis better at golf. Visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. Tickets are on sale now. Get all of the Hit and Giggle info now at TMASTL.com.
I'm as moist as a freshly baked Betty Crocker cake.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM, HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Nice one, Plowsy.
Bah! Ba-da-ba. A little glowworm glow.
Oh, God, the whole team now. How can you not like this?
Bah! It's Ryan Kelly Morning After, Michelob Ultra Studios. Be involved. Be a friend of the feather. EDF Group text inbox 314-881 TMA5 is how you can text in. And next thing you know, oh, wow, I'm a friend of the feather. Why don't you text in today for the first time? You've probably thought about it. You know what? Let Jackson know what your name is. You're stored in that EDF Group text inbox. And then anytime something just percolates, you can share it with your friends here on the dais in the Michelob Ultra Studios. And you want to support the sponsors. EDF Group is a sponsor of the program. And here's how you can support EDF. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes. You certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. Doug, I don't know how many people were watching Monday Night Football in the St. Louis area because you had Adam Wainwright, and that certainly captured my attention. And I would imagine others as well who maybe normally haven't been watching the Cardinals as of late. We talked about that in the 7 o'clock hour, presented by Munganess, for those of you just joining us. But last night on Monday Night Football, one of the best running backs in the game was injured in what was a really rough injury that'll end his season. That's Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns, and it was so rough that ESPN chose not to show replays, but you can hear in the background in Pittsburgh the fans' reaction when they showed it on the Jumbotron. Here's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman from ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Good things here in this game. Here's Chubb trying to pick his way inside the 5, and he does. Knocked down at the 3. Ball came out, but he was down. Minkah Fitzpatrick gets the tackle, but a gain of 5. And the last thing any Browns fan wants to see, Nick Chubb holding his left leg. Oh, boy. I am told that the replay of Nick Chubb getting injured is not to be seen.
Yeah, we're not going to show it. It's as bad as you can imagine.
They just showed it on the big screen here in Pittsburgh, and the crowd gasped.
That's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman last night. ESPN chose not to show it per awful announcing. ESPN receiving a great deal of credit for not showing the replay. This is the same knee that was reconstructed for Chubb in 2015 when he was a member of the Georgia Bulldogs. The exact same one. He is done for the season.
It's kind of a wonder something like that doesn't happen much more frequently than it does. For the way these guys hit each other, for as big and fast as they are, for some of the horribly looking hits that they take, it's a wonder that someone's not carted off the field on almost every play. If you've ever been down there on field level and watched like a kickoff return, you go, good Lord.
I swear, when we would go down at the end of Rams games, which is how things worked. I don't know if that's still how it works in the NFL. With, I guess it was 2 minutes or 5 minutes left, they would let the media out there. I really don't know what the point of that was.
I would
do it. But what stood out to me is how small of a space that is. I mean, 100 yards. It's such a short distance, and you have 22 huge, fast, best shape of their life athletes running around and colliding. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't
intentionally trying to inflict harm on the other person.
Right, in a split second.
Yeah.
That was a weird one, though, because it was the helmet to the knee. He was kind of down a little bit trying to get, toward the end zone. Most big injuries like legs, it's receivers that go up for, or somebody's tackled by he falls on it wrong. when your legs are kind of moving in that short of a distance, you kind of figure it's kind of hard to hit a helmet in your knee.
It was his back. It wasn't his helmet. He didn't hit Minka Fitzpatrick's back.
Oh, they said it was his knee or his helmet on the knee.
Well, I'm looking at the picture right now. It looks to be his back.
I'm just going by what I read. I didn't see the game. I just he took a knee to a helmet to the knee.
Luckily, New York Post has the still shot of it on the front page of their website.
Huh. I'm surprised they would do that.
I think it's nasty.
It's a Post. They don't care.
It's really disgusting. Like, it's as bad as a knee.
So somebody from behind him, or somebody was turned backwards and...
Minka Fitzpatrick kind of rolled up,
okay.
and it's kind of his ass into his back region. That's like right into Chubb's knee, which is foot, which is planted.
Yeah.
His body goes one way, his knee stays there.
He was going off, too. I think he had like 60 yards in the first quarter.
And everyone loves Nick Chubb. Like, he is a well-liked, across-the-board player. It really sucks because, that's the same knee that he injured.
Yeah, those running backs takes an unbelievable amount of punishment.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh, that's probably a career ender. That's a year and a half, whatever it is. I mean, that knee. And
a lot of those running backs are as good their rookie year as they're ever going to be because they haven't been hit 2,000 times already.
That's the debate going on right now, is draft a running back, franchise tag him, and then don't pay him because the shelf life is short.
Yeah. There's not many that are still running well at 30.
Yeah, there's very few Adrian Petersons out there.
Yeah.
How old's Ezekiel Elliott? Because he's pretty much done.
He's got to be 30-ish.
He's 30, 31, I'm sure.
He is 28.
Yeah. Just seems like he's been around a while because he's a running back.
Yeah.
Your thoughts are welcome. 314-881-TMA5. Missouri tickets are being slashed, Doug, to incentivize people to come in. They're doing a special $20 off lower bowl tickets if you're interested in attending the Tigers on Saturday night at the Dome.
I would have thought there'd been a real uptick after the win last Saturday.
Well, there was an uptick, but the gap between, making it substantial and where they started was so large that they had to do something. And so that is, I think there's going to be a lot of people who will be there comped and a lot of people who are going to be able to get tickets for less than what the market was a week ago.
Maybe
Fight Tiger, beat Tiger.
Maybe they can give away one of those neat T-shirts they had printed with every ticket purchase.
You're going to want one of those, too, aren't you?
No.
So they're giving away T-shirts, you said, for tickets purchased?
Maybe they should give away that we kick
Tigers
State's
win
ass or something like that.
I'm going to pull out my True Sun card here.
Okay.
People are really up in arms about something that every team does. Like, colleges want to make money. Like, so Kansas State has done it before.
They've done it twice, I think. And I posted that on Twitter because I didn't know. I was asking it on a question. And I did get responses about other teams doing it, screenshots and stuff. I just didn't know it existed. But I am so naive to that because my college I went to does not do that because we play like Youngstown State and
they took a drubbing by Lindenwood.
Western?
I think
Lindenwood was a good
beat
program.
Yeah.
They got something building there. But so I didn't know. So I put it on Twitter and not know.
selling those things for? Because I saw they're giving
$25.
They're giving
$25.
I thought they said they're giving $25 of the purchase to charity.
It's to the Tiger Scholarship Fund.
Yeah.
That's the charity.
Which is their NIL fund, right? Or is that completely different? Okay. I thought I would just go right to the NIL.
Well, either way, fight Tiger, beat Tiger.
Yes,
go 4-0, top 25, go to Vanderbilt, beat Commodore, come home, beat Tiger again.
Let's do it.
And set the stage. That Red River Shootout will most likely feature two undefeated teams. Texas, top 5. Oklahoma's currently 16th. They both should win their games that they have coming up. Texas, I believe, has Baylor and Rock Chalk. Doug, is that correct?
I haven't looked at the schedule, Tim.
And Oklahoma has 2 games that they should win as well. So if that's the case, that would mean... And listen, LSU's got to go to Oxford. Hotty toddy, good God Almighty. Is that what you say?
Yeah, I say that all the time.
Jackson, what's the number on LSU and Hotty toddy, good God Almighty on a Saturday night in Oxford where I would imagine the tail will be on display? Hello, friends. Welcome to the Grove. I'm going to guess...
Okay.
LSU 3.
I would say I'm going to go 2.5, and I'm not doing that to undercut you. I was in the 1.5 to 2.5 range. LSU minus 1.5 to 2.5.
To pick 'em.
Pick 'em, Doug.
LSU by a half a point.
Okay.
Yep. Money line 110.
Gers still minus 6.5 against the Gers.
Seeing 7.
Oh.
Seeing 7.
That's a crap slate of games that week, too. It's a shame Oklahoma and Texas are playing. Or if Mizzou would win and LSU would win 5-1, 5-0.
The other element with it, there's starting to become some fear that it might get an 11 o'clock.
No.
The 11 o'clock kickoff is actually the third in the order of picking for the networks. Number 1, Doug, CBS at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is 6 p.m. for ESPN, and then number 3 is the 11 a.m. kickoff. And you have Kentucky, Georgia that weekend, correct?
I believe so. That would be week 7.
So if they went Kentucky, Georgia at 6, if you don't want an 11 o'clock kickoff, you should be cheering for LSU this weekend.
Right. Yeah, weeks.
You need LSU top 10 and Missouri top 20.
Yeah, Kentucky but is going between the hedges that week.
Kentucky losing to Florida this weekend would be helpful.
Yep. Yes, it would. And then Arkansas heads down to Oxford.
You couldn't have a 2:30 on the SEC network?
No. SEC networks are 3 o'clock games. Mm-hmm. And Missouri Vanderbilt yesterday announces the 3 o'clock game, which I could have done for you in February if you would have liked it.
I was looking to see, you talked about Oklahoma. Mizzou may have to play, they do play them next year, right?
They host the Sooners.
Yeah. And I see that the SEC is eliminating the divisions next year.
That's correct.
One big, giant league.
That's correct.
That's how it should be, too.
I could have told you that in February as well. These are 2 things that I could have tended to.
I know. I'd forgotten about that.
So this is it. This is the last year for the East versus the West.
Yeah. I like the East versus the West. I like 2 divisions.
Well, you want us to get Gabe on and yell at him?
I don't, because, no offense, the SEC East is kind of weak, and it is nice. And I know you branch out and you play I don't know what it is. You play one.
It's produced the national champion the last 2 years.
Okay.
It's
I'm just saying, top to bottom, like I think it is nice that teams will just play everybody and not have to focus on that.
Well, you won't be able to play
that's
everybody.
That's how sports should be in general.
There's too many teams to play everybody. You won't be able to play everybody.
Well, I meant just your schedule going to switch in 2026. You'll play Alabama and things like that. So I think that's fun. You got Texas and Oklahoma joining.
That's just a short-term plan, right? I mean, at some point they'll go back to pods or divisions or something, won't they?
I think everything right now is short term.
Yeah.
I really do. And I'm certainly not saying that flippantly. I just think that it's going to change so substantially by 2030, maybe even before that.
Yeah.
I actually agree with you. I like the divisions.
I do. I like playing the same team, know who you're going to play, build some rivalries
but
with
I think in
the Kentuckys and the Tennessees. And
in professional sports, it eliminates the best teams playing the best teams in the playoffs. And it really does.
Well, I don't know what it was for you when you were growing up, Doug, and I'm talking about like when we were, 8, 9, 10 years old, because we had the different eras of baseball than like the Plowhawk and Jackson have had. They know nothing about the fact that the Cardinals were you might know about it, but you didn't experience the Cardinals being the NL East. When the Cardinals won a division, when I was growing up in 82, 85, 87, it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Winning a division now, it's, they won a division last year. If this were, for example, 1986, the year after they won the NL East in 85, or 1988, the year after they won the division in 1987, that would hold a lot of equity with the fan base because you were one of the final 4 teams. Well, here we are, less than a year removed from them winning the division. And it doesn't carry much weight. I think a lot of people probably have forgotten about the fact that they were division winners in 2022. Maybe you remember more about Pujols' 700 home runs because they didn't do anything in October. And so what I think that does is I think it waters down the regular season and it diminishes the importance of 6 months of playing, 6 out of 7 days. Personally, I don't like it, but of course, I don't like it, and it's bad business for me not to like it if I were an investor in baseball, because it would take away top-line revenue for them to remove playoff games. But I would prefer that if you have a great regular season, you are rewarded, and you are essentially a step away from the World Series. The other side of that is, 90+% of the teams would be eliminated by September 1st.
Yeah. So you're not just losing playoff revenue, but regular season
Exactly.
revenue.
So that's the thing. I mean, you look at the National League wild card standings, and I happen to be watching Scott Van Pelt this morning, and since the Browns, the replay of Scott Van Pelt and the Browns and Steelers were still going on, so he was like forced to talk about baseball because that game was airing at the same time. And if you could have said, I'll give you $100 if you could name the top 3 teams in the National League wild card, I couldn't have done it. But I believe it's the Phillies, Cubs, and Diamondbacks. Hell, I still don't know.
Marlins are in there too.
Well, I mean, there's 6 teams in there. There's only a handful not. Cardinals are one of them. Padres, which is from my standpoint, story of the upcoming off season because they're going to do something in San Diego with the management. It's like, okay, you lingered around 500 and now you have a chance to win a World Series, and I just, from a competition integrity standpoint, I don't like it. I understand why it's there. I know it won't change, but I just don't like it because you can have a great regular season and then, anybody who kind of lingered around 500 can get in and just get hot and win this baby. I don't like it. That's what I have to say. And I think guys with nipple rings are cute. I don't know. I didn't have anything. I had a throwaway line, but I liked it.
Before 1969, there was only, one league. If you won the pennant, you were in the World Series.
See, I think baseball should be the top 8 NL teams, the top 8 AL teams, and that's why I think the divisions are like when the Cardinals win that crap-ass division, it's like, oh, hey, we're good. But it's like, no, you're faux good because they're teams that finished third in one division that are better than you, but just so happen they're in a tougher division. The bet, like in sports, especially paying sports, we pay these players. We should have the best teams in the playoffs. It shouldn't be the best team from the AL.
Well, you had the 5 versus 6 in the National League last year.
I mean, the best teams are always in.
Well, they're in the playoffs, but they're not in the NLCS.
Oh, well, no.
No, that's what I personally don't like.
That can happen in other sports.
It happens in hockey all the time. It was very rare this year for it to happen in the NBA. That was a monster outlier. But it happens in hockey all the time. I mean, I feel like.
And there's times in football.
You've seen 8 seed. I remember Pronger's Oilers team was an 8 seed. The team that the Blues lost to, I think it was 2012 Kings, an 8 seed.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it winds up working out in hockey. But they're also playing half the number of games. NBA, 82-game season, and rarely do you have, some random slip through. So, I mean, listen, I'm bitching about something that's not going to change, and nor do I think there's a solution for it per se, but because, again, it would strip revenue. So I understand them not wanting to do it, but that's why I don't think I'm as into regular season baseball, because it's kind of like, okay, it's now like the playoffs when I was growing up in the NHL. 4 out of the 5 teams in the Norris division were going, and you could be below 500 and, get to the Campbell Conference Finals.
Well, that's why the Yankees have so many World Series titles. I mean, they're like, 16 ahead of the Cardinals, because back in those 20s, 30s, 40s, the Yankees had a team nobody could beat, and if you win your division, you go straight to the World Series.
No, there wasn't a division. It was just an American League.
Yeah, an American League and a National League. So if you won
about
every
year in
American
the
League,
50s.
you won, yeah. And in the 20s and early 30s, when they had Gehrig and Babe Ruth, I mean, they were winning every year. So they got 27 to the Cardinals, 11.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have that now. It's kind of spread out. I mean, I can't remember the last team that won back-to-back World Series. Reds? 70s?
Yankees?
Probably the Yankees.
I don't think they won back-to-back with Torrey.
Did they win 3 in a row?
What are we talking? What was the question? I'll answer it.
Last Major League team to win back-to-back World Series.
Last National League team?
Any team.
No, just
any
last team to win back-to-back.
I assume it was the 98-99 Yankees, am I right?
Did the Phillies not do it in that mid-2000s?
No, they lost to the Rays, and they beat the Rays, and they lost to the Yankees the following year.
Okay.
I don't know.
I know they got back-to-backers in there.
The Yankees
Giants
won
3 out of 5.
Right, but it was all even
every
years,
other
10,
year.
12, 14.
Yeah, it's either
It's
the
tough
Yankees
in
or the
baseball
Reds.
to do that crap back-to-back.
Cardinals were legitimately, I mean, you go to 4 straight NLCSs, and then the 5th year was a 100-win season, and they win 1 World Series. A lot of people, I don't say a lot of people, multiple people in the Cardinal organization feel like they left one out there, and a different manager, they would have been able to capitalize on 12, 13, 14, 15. Fair or unfair. Speaking of the Cardinals, Jeff Passan has given his year-end awards with 2 weeks left.
Yeah. What did we get?
Biggest disappointment in baseball. With all due respect to the Mets and Padres, no team cratered this season quite like the St. Louis Cardinals. They have made the postseason 9 of the past dozen years and won the NL Central last season. They are the Yankees of the NL in their consistency. They haven't had a losing season since 2007. They haven't finished in last place since 1990. It's 66 and 83 this year. The former is guaranteed and the latter is likely. The Cardinals' problems are manifold. Do you like that term, manifold?
No, I don't. I don't.
But what other word would you use there? It has to be manifold.
I think, what's he trying to say? The Cardinals' problems are deep?
The Cardinals have multiple problems.
Okay. He could have said the Cardinals' problems are many.
What about many?
I don't like manifold.
Or they have multiple problems. Well, he's a wordsmith.
Okay. Smitty.
Early season issues in the clubhouse. Faltering in high-leverage situations at the plate. Positional redundancy. But the real issue is the pitching. And the following is about as damning an indictment of this current team as there can be. Since the beginning of the modern era in 1901, only one Cardinal team has a worse ERA than the 2023 version, 4.80. There you go.
Yeah, at a time when it's harder and harder to hit, where almost nobody hits 300 anymore. They've given up more runs than they have in more than 100 years.
That's right.
Yeah. It's not good. It's manifold.
Are you up to 40 blown saves yet?
And based on all of that, how do you say, yeah, we like this managerial group?
That's how they start the
off
offseason, is they solidify Ollie as coming back for another year.
I mean, it's pretty stunning when you think what Mike Schilt did, and even Matheny, love him or hate him, he still won some to produce the worst team that we've seen in decades and decades, and to say, yeah, I like where we're going. I like this guy.
I mean, obviously Fowler's established.
And he likes this
That guy
rotation.
is in charge of our club.
I guess
that's the reason why this team sucks.
I guess he likes the rotation because he said, I don't know, Cam Wux or whatever, he said, asked about pitching next year. How many pitchers you think you're going to need? You need 3. He goes, oh, yeah, we'll need 3 because we need depth. No, you need 3 to go in the rotation.
Oh.
You don't need depth.
Yeah.
You got enough crap depth.
Well, the bullpen suddenly looks pretty good over the last month. Promising, anyway.
Yippee.
I mean, when Halsey's healthy, he's darn near unhittable. Looks like they found somebody in Libator who can give you a good inning. John King looks like he's okay. Romero looks pretty good. Maybe the bullpen's not as far away as we thought it was earlier. The starting pitching obviously needs a lot of work.
Well, we found out this year, at least, we're last, but we found out Carlson is not an everyday player. Tyler O'Neill is not an everyday player. So you need to find what your outfield is going to look like, because finally I think we need to cut bait on both of those almost immediately. You hung around with DeYoung for far too long. You cannot possibly think Carlson O'Neill can give you any production. So you got Newton Walker, and then you figure it out from there. But you got some offense that you need to tend to as well.
Who's that guy that brought up for O'Neill the other night?
Palacios?
Pasafadio?
Somebody I'd never heard of.
He's a 30-year-old minor leaguer that's had 4 games in the major leagues, and somehow the Cardinals signed him.
Analytics say screw it. Mozilla get to keep his job for eternity, so why would you try?
Sometimes if you've had a guy in the minor leagues for years that everybody likes, you reward him by putting him up in the major leagues the last couple of weeks of the season.
Well, he signed in the offseason. He wasn't even in the Cardinal organization.
Oh, he was in the minors, wasn't he?
Look, Tyler Motter got 80 at-bats for this
But
game.
Again, he's been around in the minors probably for 10, 12 years.
Yeah, he's
so
30.
That's what sometimes they reward a guy like that.
Why just sign him in the first place? For what?
Because originally they thought he was going to be a player.
He's never been a player.
Well, but they thought he must be decent, or they wouldn't have kept signing him. He wouldn't still be there for 10 or 12 years.
He kept getting released, and the Cardinals signed him. So
you let Mozeliak control this club, it's over. It's over.
He's a guy you bring up and you put him in the starting rotation. Put him in the starting.
Doug, I'm going to restate, and we'll talk more. Placifacio.
I don't know what his name is.
Wedding Tackle has requested that name. He wants to change his name to Placifacio.
I don't know what I said. I thought it was a Q something.
This is I do a campaign stop. I tour around St. Louis, and I say this over and over again. There is no other market in these United States of America, and also our friends to the north, America's hat, in Canada, with those Blue Jays, that could have a season with the expectations this one had. and have the failures this one had and make absolutely no changes in either the front office or in the dugout. But here in St. Louis, that's what we have.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable.
And every time the vote of confidence to Marmol makes no sense to you, you just have to keep reminding yourself he's not the one calling the shots.
Yes, if I were making changes, it wouldn't necessarily be with Marmol, but I would make changes because the same group that has had this team in 2023, as poorly prepared as it was from a roster standpoint, is the same one being entrusted to rebuild it. And it's so, I mean, offensively, you have questions. I think Plowhawk, you just made reference to that because the outfield, we were talking, I think maybe this was before the show, we were talking about Edman. You still need to have some punch in the outfield, even if he isn't in center. But the starting staff is so far away. And with the Red Sox and Yankees having the kind of season they've had, and the Yankees got hot recently, but both of them will be doing what they've done over the last quarter century. And now, with Julio Urias being taken out of the mix as far as a free agent star pitcher, you've lowered the supply, the demand is higher, and the Cardinals might get into a spot where they're either not going to be able to do it or get in a spot where they go overpaying again. And, you know, it's not like Aaron Nola's having a Cy Young season. So, I don't know. My whole thing about the Goldschmidt thing is rooted in, if he would have left, and maybe he had zero interest in leaving and would have said no trade. So I don't know on that, but I just wish they would have been more aggressive because I do not think that they are close to contention. I mean, if you can go out and get 3 starters who are A starters or 2 A's and a B, then sure. But Miles Michaelis isn't exactly like, okay, we've got him in as our ace, now let's solidify it. You don't have, I mean, Steven Matz was a punchline, then he gets hot in July and August and hurt, and then it's like, okay, now we can put Matz in there.
Isn't it really?
It's so far away from a pitching standpoint, and it's not like the offense is rock solid, and Paul Goldschmidt is not a young man anymore. And I don't know. I just don't see it. But like I said, I hope it can be one of the many things I've been wrong about.
Is there any possible scenario going into the season? It's Michaelis, Matz, Rom, Thompson, and then maybe they just sign one starter. I mean, is that like seriously?
I would say that
that would be crazy.
If there's one thing that I would happily, and I've wagered and been wrong against you, Plowhawk, on 10-1 odds too, I would bet heavily that they are going to trade a package of, or at least one position player, and I would imagine they'll have to be packaged to get us a starter.
I think they'll be trade happy. Because they're not going to be able to afford a whole bunch of free agent pitchers.
When you have Nola and Snell as like the A guys, and it was Julio Urias, but he's out now. So, okay. So
I just wonder why those guys would come here.
What are you trying to say? Have you ridden the boss?
It doesn't look like it's a contender. And the Cardinals aren't likely to throw the most money, although they did throw the most money at Contreras. But they're not likely to throw the most money at a couple of pitchers.
And if we're throwing Edman in the outfield, I was all about Mason Wynn too, but I think we may need to figure out, is Mason Wynn maybe a year or 2 away? He looks pretty god-awful. I mean, for the most part, but he's young. It's, first time in the bigs. They don't always hit it out of the park like Walker and some of the players we've seen. But is he going to be the everyday guy next year penciled in if Edman goes to the outfield? I'd be shocked with that.
I would think he is, yeah.
I mean, he's hitting 222.
Doug, what's the outfield next year?
Probably a Nootbaar and Walker and someone we don't know. Be my guess.
All right, then where's Tommy Edman?
Probably as your super sub, playing all over the field, I would think.
Or shortstop with Wynn.
I'm just not sure Edman hits enough to be an everyday outfielder.
So you think they're going to add a center fielder?
Well, unless Nootbaar plays center. I think they'll add an outfielder.
And at least 2 pitchers?
Yeah, I would think.
Busy offseason.
It better be.
And Mozeliak gets to sign off on all these. I'm really excited to see what he got in store.
There can't be.
He is the worst.
Oh, God.
And teams will figure out ways to get rid of their GM and all. Like, it's happened before to where if you don't perform and you kind of, do the same offseason each and every year and the same condescending little remarks talking down to the fans, and then, the season happens exactly how the fans who he criticizes happen. I mean, it's just hilarious.
Plowsy, 2024, with all the pitching they need, not only just starting pitching, but relievers, I think 2024 is going to be the year of the low-hanging fruit.
I literally think this is going to be a weird offseason.
There will be a revolt if that happens. I'm not saying that won't happen per se. I'm just saying they've unnecessarily backed themselves into a corner, and then it can position themselves to compound what is already a mess by overpaying that can then impact you down the road.
Yeah.
And you got to look, when you look at, this is any business, but baseball is one that most people listening to this show follow closely, and you don't have to have some kind of MBA to follow it. If you have a declining asset on your books down the road, you've got a problem because it impacts your team both in the short term and then the latitude with which your operation can try to bring in talent, because you got problematic declining assets on your books, and that's what the Cardinals could be staring at in 2026. If you're sitting there going, oh God, we've got Wilson Contreras, who's a DH at 36 years old, I guess 35 at that point, and take your pick. I mean, Aaron Nola at that point would be in the 35 range. Not to say that he's going to come here, but just to give you an example. And it's not like he had a great year. It's a tough spot. And I don't think there's anything wrong with turning the page. The Cardinals haven't done that. And by turning the page, I mean regrouping. They're just in a weird spot because you have two potential Hall of Famers, or likely Hall of Famers, at your corner spots. But that's why what they did last year was just so strange in the offseason. Because I just don't know how you go into the season and go, yeah, this is a National League pennant contending rotation. You know what I mean? I mean, that's not reverse engineering. That's not results oriented. That's not going, well, if this guy would have stayed healthy. Who was it? What was it? I mean, let's go back and play it out. Was it Michaelis, Flaherty, Montgomery? That's what I mean.
Thought Wainwright might be the same pitcher he was last year.
No, I understand that, but I mean, even with that, it's still not. It's not even remotely in the same range of what it usually is going to take. I mean, certainly outliers can happen, and the two World Championships they won were kind of outliers relative to some great years in 2004 and 09 and 15. But
they just kept looking at Flaherty thinking, this guy's got to be a big-time pitcher.
I just don't understand that.
And the writing was on the wall in the offseason when your best pitcher the second half of the year wasn't even given an offer. Now, granted, he got hurt at the beginning of the year, but you didn't know that. But Quintana was your best pitcher the second half, and they didn't even offer him anything.
Yeah.
I'm trading Goldschmidt for sure this offseason or the beginning of next season.
But I
think they missed the opportunity. They missed the opportunity. I do believe they could have got a nice haul, when they're one.
Yeah, but I mean, we got to keep. I mean, because I'm big on that Goldschmidt thing. But if he doesn't want to be traded, the Cardinals they're boxed in, and I don't know what the answer to that is.
I imagine they're going to have to trade some people that hurts to trade.
You have to.
You may have to trade a Nolan Gorman. If you trade Nolan Gorman, you could get something significant in return, and you got Brendan Donovan to play second base.
You can package a Gorman and a Carlson and get yourself a nice starting pitcher.
I would think so. Because if you can't, then don't.
Yeah, you can't give these guys away, but if there's an offer you can't refuse, you just gotta. Can these guys get drafted every year? I don't think we realize these prospects. Yeah. I mean, those lists just generate every 6 months. They change completely. So, I mean, you're going to get a top 5 pick after this year. So you're going to replenish a position in some form or fashion.
Well, Gorman is a guy a lot of teams would love to have. A potential,
absolutely.
He's going to hit 30, 35, maybe more than that home runs. And he's so young, he doesn't make a ton of money yet. So there's a lot of teams that would love to have Nolan Gorman that would probably part with a top pitching prospect.
Meanwhile, great article this morning from Ken Rosenthal and Dennis Lin on The Athletic about the San Diego Padres, Ken Rosenthal and Dennis Lin, whereas Jeff Passan calls the Cardinals the biggest disappointment in baseball.
Manifold.
Manifold, as a matter of fact. I would actually say I think the San Diego Padres are worse than the Cardinals as far as a disappointment goes, and I don't really know. I'd actually say it's kind of obvious, and there's going to be some changes there. A.J. Preller, who oftentimes gets praised, and the aggression that the Padres showed. And I think part of that was they're going, okay, the Chargers are in Los Angeles now. This is our real chance. But my God, when you look at who they have on their roster and how much they're going to cost and how much they've already cost, They went all in, and I'm sure the fans loved it in the moment, but this year has been an absolute disaster. They talk about the fact that the relationship between Preller and Bob Melvin, who's in his second year as manager with the Padres, is untenable. They moved all of their prospects for Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Joe Musgrove, and Juan Soto, and now they're in a spot where they probably can't afford to keep the vast majority of them, and they also will have some money on the books that puts them in a spot where it's going to be difficult to compete. And so they had the third highest payroll, and they are one of a handful of teams that when September rolled around knew they weren't going to the postseason. One player called the season, quote, an institutional failure. Multiple members of the team spoke of a persistent atmosphere of pessimism as the Padres watched their season slip away. And while numerous players downplayed or rejected rumors of a dysfunctional clubhouse, the overall environment around the team garnered less positive reviews. It is the most toxic, one former staffer said. A repeated inability to live up to expectations only exacerbated divisions within the franchise. The Padres opened up the season with a $250 million payroll, a franchise record and the third highest in the majors, coming off a run to the NLCS, their first since 1998. But almost from the beginning, the season unfolded like a nightmare. This year, of course, we were just talking about the free agent pitchers. Blake Snell is right up there at the top of the list, and he's been killing it for the Padres over the last 4 months. So there's a good chance he will not be back.
I'll tell you who's actually going to be worth the $400 million contract, and could be Juan Soto. He's a generational talent. I can't wait to see where he goes. I don't think the Padres can keep him, especially looking at how you don't make the playoffs with him or struggling to make the playoffs with him. I think you cut bait, but that dude's worth the money. We should have traded for him. We should have traded Carlson Gorman in a package for him. Going to be another one of the long list of many that we may have regretted. No guarantee he would have signed here long-term after this year, but we could have had him for a full year, and I think maybe things have been different.
There's a Mike Schilt reference in this article, talking about the staff and the situation in San Diego. It's hard to be in a situation where you really want to celebrate with people and win with people who you know when you're not doing well are constantly jumping off the boat. They're blaming you for the leak in the raft. I think A.J. Preller is not great at recognizing the culture cost of him putting his finger on the thumb of the coaching staff, a former team executive said. Meanwhile, Tricker is not the only Preller hire whose presence continues to arouse suspicion among staffers. Earlier this summer, former Marlins executive Bill, do you say Mossy or do you say Moss?
I've always said Mossy.
Joined the organization as a baseball operations advisor and has become a regular presence during batting practice and inside the batting cages at Petco Park, even though the Padres already had 3 hitting coaches. Former Cardinals manager Mike Schilt, now a Padres senior advisor for player development in the major leagues, has been in uniform with the team for most of the season. An unusual situation for an advisor. Preller, for his part, says he values a variety of perspectives, but such arrangements, some inside the clubhouse say, still lead to uncertainty and unease. Quote, in some senses here, I feel that the finger gets pointed at the next guy, one player said. Instead of, you're the head of the organization, you need to take the reins of this, implement some sort of structure. Added one ex-staffer, it's probably more of a case study in management. And nowhere is that more evident than in his relationship with Bob Melvin. Melvin is 61. Doug, he's known as Bo Mel. You like that?
I don't mind it.
Really?
I don't mind it.
Make you think of boll weevils at all?
A little bit. Yeah. The old boll weevil eating our cotton.
This is his 20th season as a major league manager, his second as the Padres, and he and Preller are not hitting it off. The Padres' crumbled season, the differences between Preller and Melvin created a major disconnect. The rift between the two became one of the worst-kept secrets in baseball. Melvin declined to comment for this story. Preller said, I have a lot of respect for Bob. You know, you're never going to agree on everything. You never have that with anyone in baseball operations. That's healthy. I think there's a healthy amount of debate. Several people interviewed for the story described the circumstances with Preller and told the players one thing and Melvin told them another. One player, while careful not to absolve himself and his teammates of blame, likened the situation to a toxic relationship between parents in which the kids suffer. If nobody's on the same page and you're getting 2 stories from 2 different people, there is no trust there. The players are going to feel like, well, who can I confide in? Who can I talk to? More from The Athletic and Ken Rosenthal in the Padres situation, because that's one that I would imagine you want to talk about changes. The Padres will be the absolute opposite of the Cardinals this offseason. I think you're going to see I mean, at the very least, I would imagine Melvin or Preller will be moving on.
I can imagine if you're a guy like Bob Melvin who played in the major leagues, been a manager for a while, and then he's got some young hotshot analytic guy standing around the batting cage telling guys what to do. I could see where that wouldn't go over well at all. Can you imagine Whitey Herzog dealing with people like that?
Imagine Whitey trying to deal with Mo. Oh my
Yeah.
God! I would literally love to. I would pay to see that fist fight.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, here's my hot take prediction. Jack Flaherty signs a 1-year prove-it deal with the Cardinals for 2024.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, there's no way. You can
I don't think so.
I could actually see the Cardinals bringing in Montgomery again.
Are you sure? Yeah, I'd love to have him back.
Oh yeah, that's low enough.
Oh,
the hanging fruit.
Please, for the love of God, just stop it. The Mo critics are okay, but condemning him as the worst GM is ridiculous. Stop it, Plowhawk!
Oh.
That's from the Millennial.
Gosh.
He's really he's bad at his job. He may not be the worst. I don't know what the rundown is for all these organizations. I just know what signings he's done and what players he's traded away for nothing and seasons he's squandered for retirement and playoffs he's had, graduation assistant players who never play just on the roster just for rah-rah fun, getting a squirrel out of their pocket. I've seen all this nonsense, and Mozeliak is he's not great at his job.
He got Juniel Queracuto. That's the guy Iggy was trying to say the other day.
There's nothing you can say that I can be behind John Mozeliak. I think he's set this
How about this is the first
back
losing
several years, and I don't know why people can't see that.
First losing record since 2007. He's been in charge.
Sweet. We play in a terrible division, and we backdoor our way to a wild card sweep. Sweet. Great season. Chalk it up as another win for Mo.
The National League Central hasn't always been this bad in his tenure, though. That has to be.
That's true.
So,
I mean, even he's had some fantastic years.
Well,
and like everybody else, he's had a couple of bad ones.
In 15, you had 3 teams that were, I think, 97, 98, and 100-win teams. And listen, I understand it's a terrible division now. Just for the purpose of his run going back to 15 years ago, the division hasn't been this garbage, but it is garbage now. Yeah. And I do think that the plan going in this year, it had to have been, was, well, we've got a bunch of money on the books, and I think this pitching staff will be good enough to get us into the playoffs, and we'll, take our chances, and we'll try to shore up the pitching staff at the trade deadline. And it got so out of hand early on that it didn't matter.
You probably answered my question with the stating the money on the books. If for some reason, somehow they would do this, they won't because it'd be too expensive for them. But would you be happy, as far as starting rotation, they can do with the bullpen, if they went out and signed Montgomery and Snell, would you be happy with that? Would that be enough?
Montgomery and Snell, and that is what the Cardinals are doing for the offseason?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay. I'd be happy with that. Instead of signing 3 or 4, 4th,
two guys at the top of the rotation.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, because then you got Montgomery, Snell, Michaelis, and, at that point, you feel like, okay, if you do get something from Steven Matz in the 2-month resuscitation, that's just a totally different world. That is going to be a serious allocation of dollars. You probably won't be getting the outfielder you were talking about if they go out and sign 2 free agents of that caliber. I mean, Snell is, I don't know I would imagine Snell is considered the premier pitcher this offseason now with Urias out of the mix.
Probably. Well, if you keep Gorman, you can have Donovan, your left fielder, Gorman, your second baseman.
But look, Edman goes?
Yeah, Edman would be trade bait, I think.
I think it'd be nice just to get Montgomery, Soto, and trade for another pitcher. So I'm not saying to get high tier. I think the value should be going to an outfielder.
What do you think it would cost you to get Soto?
I think Walker will eventually transition to a third or first baseman. Am I not correct? Once Arenado
Probably
and
first
Goldschmidt.
base, yeah.
So you're looking at least, and we don't know, Newt Barnes never played a full season. So we don't really have a outfielder, for sure outfielder, you'll pencil in for the next 5 to 8 years. I don't know, that's difficult. There's not a lot of teams that have that. Nonetheless, I think Walker's not an everyday outfielder. I think we've seen some blunder.
You think he's not an everyday outfielder?
I think he's going to be an everyday first or third baseman once the positions open next year with Arenado and Goldschmidt.
He's improved defensively.
He has, but I just don't think that's his long term. I think if you get Soto,
I would agree with it. The long term, I'd be surprised if he's playing in the outfield in 5 years. Good observation here, and I was thinking that as I was saying it, but then I couldn't think. But if you have Montgomery and Snell, that means you have 4 left-handers and 1 right-hander in the rotation. This ain't going to happen. I don't know on the 4 left. I don't know on the 4.
Just give me the best guys you can get. I don't care.
The bigger thing with Snell is he's great. He's a big strikeout pitcher, but because he runs into a lot of games where he doesn't go deep, and he'll have, he strikes a bunch of guys out, but he'll also walk a bunch of guys, and he doesn't go deep into games. And if that's something the Cardinals are, though, trying to get a bunch of strikeout guys. They had pitch to contact guys. Now they're trying to go to strikeout guys. Anyway, got a break. It's 9:21. We'll come back. We have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs. And Doug, the thing I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly, and if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobigs.com, and that's Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, Tiger fans. This is Mizzou wide receiver Luther Burton III. Come support Mizzou NIL and get a quote from my friend, James Carlton.
Thanks, Luther. If your insurance rates have gone up, let me see if I can save you money, especially if you have drivers under the age of 25. You will get 5-star local customer service when you work with our office. If you mention Luther's name, we'll make a donation to Mizzou's preferred NIL on your behalf.
Come support Mizzou NIL and get a quote from my friend, James Carlton.
Check us out online at carltoninsurance.net. MIZZOU.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
All right, here we go. Here's something new. Announcing the first ever TMA Hit and Giggle. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Benefiting the Megan Meyer Foundation. Friday, October 6th at Family Golf and Learning Center. It's a 9-hole par 3 tournament full of threesomes. Oh, geez. And it's a walking course, so if you're a walrus, start getting in shape. Your $55 ticket includes 9 holes, beer from Mich Ultra, and lunch or dinner depending on your tee time. Plus shipping and putting contest for our degenerate gamblers. You'll also get to see Iggy's Long Drive Challenge. Brought to you by Souder Appraisal. Can he hit it 210, 220, maybe 223? Who knows? But it should be a fun day no matter what. The first ever TMA Hit and Giggle. Brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer. And Family Golf and Learning Center. They make St. Louis better at golf. Visit FamilyGolfOnline.com. Tickets are on sale now. Get all of the hit and giggle info now at TMASTL.com.
I'm Tim McKernan here with Action Jackson talking to you about Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, whether it be saving up for their child's education or planning for their own retirement and everything in between.
Whether you're like me and just getting started with your financial planning or you're already retired, call Mark Hanna.
It all starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs and design the right strategy for you and your future.
Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
You gotta be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Now, this is what they'll be playing at the Dome at 6:30 on Saturday night.
As the Tigers run out of the field, this is what's going to be playing.
You hear a hell of an echo.
Oh, come on now.
They are making a good campaign on Twitter to pack the Dome, though, so they are being
Fight
proactive.
Tiger.
If it's a really bad crowd, it'd probably be the last game we ever see here.
Which would suck.
It would. Although, I don't mind the fact that if I want to see a Mizzou game, I got to go to Columbia. That's reasonable.
I'd rather
It's
not
hard to
go
complain
the Dome.
about that.
I'd rather drive to Columbia.
You would?
Then go to the Dome, probably. I just don't like the Dome.
Here's what we got on Saturday, and it's a Jim Dandy, Doug. Let's start us off at 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Florida State, Clemson.
Okay.
At Clemson.
That could be good.
Colorado, sans Travis Hunter for 3 to 4 weeks now. At Oregon. And are they 21-point dogs? I was listening to that college football podcast with Reese Davis and Pete Thamel this morning. They were talking about 21-point dogs. Is that what my nurse has on
Which
her
game
book?
is that, Tim?
Oregon, Colorado. Clemson's only getting 2.5 against the Knowles.
Oregon, is that an 11 a.m. kickoff, Tim?
I think I got it at 2:30, Peter.
2:30 p.m., you mean. They are 21-point dogs.
How about that, Doug? Colorado, 21-point dogs.
They probably should be, though.
Deion won't like that. 70.5. That's the total.
Well, their defense gave up a ton against Colorado State.
I gotta tell you, I love the over on that. I need to always check the weather, Doug, when we're heading to, do you call it Autzen Stadium?
I don't call it much of anything.
Do you call it Eugene?
Throw it up.
You know, anything. That's
Let me
what
ask
I
you a
would call
question.
Formula's on your side on that one, Tim.
You brought up.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
People are on the under?
Just more people or more money's on the over.
Now, you asked this earlier, Tim, about college game day, LSU, Mizzou.
Yeah,
happen.
fight Tiger. Well, I'm hoping it will, but
Let
I
me
understand the Red River rivalry is going to be problematic for the final time in the Big 12, and they'll most likely both be undefeated.
Yeah. Now, this week, I'm guessing is probably at Notre Dame. Notre Dame playing Ohio State, I would guess it'd be at Notre Dame. If Oklahoma or if Colorado would win this week and beat Oregon, be a big upset. The following week, next week, USC at Colorado. Would they go back to Colorado for game day?
I don't think so.
I mean, that would be the biggest game.
I would agree. Well, I mean, I agree with you in that principle, but I don't think they would go back
because the rest of the schedule is pretty crap that week.
Utah,
is it?
Utah, Oregon. It's Friday. Never mind. LSU, Mississippi.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no big game that.
That's 12 versus 15.
You'd bring college. But
Which one are you talking about, Jackson?
Oxford. LSU is in Oxford, taking on Mississippi
next week.
Yeah.
On the 30th. That would be a good play. I haven't looked at the schedule to know.
Yeah, that's the only other ranked matchup.
I don't think they'll go to Nashville from Missouri Vanderbilt.
Which is a miss.
No.
You sure?
Miss. But yeah, other than it's Michigan, Nebraska, it's nothing special.
Yeah. So I guess probably to Oxford, but can you imagine, this would be the first time I think I've ever seen when Colorado plays USC, the over-under line will be 80, if not higher.
It could be, yeah.
I'm anxious to see what Colorado's offense is like without Hunter, though.
Yeah.
He's got some sort of liver laceration.
Lacerated liver.
Yeah. That sounds horrible.
Yeah. Brutal.
Was that guy even suspended?
He's getting death threats, I read.
He's been He's been doxxed. His family's been doxxed.
That's nice.
That's brutal. That's stupid, but I think it should
Can we
be
prosecute the people who make the death threats? That's what I like. I like that. I mean, the social
Yeah.
media stuff. Let's start taking that
big
out.
dog
Let's take-
avatars.
get the-
Right. That's the
Good luck
problem.
trying to find them.
Oh, it's traceable.
IP addresses.
Speak firsthand to that.
Oh, you should. You threatened to kill somebody. That's a felony.
You would think it would be.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's LSU, Ole Miss.
Yeah, they went back at Colorado twice in 3 weeks.
Lousy, what are you getting out?
Although you'd have two undefeated teams.
Honey bun.
Honey bun, okay.
But if Colorado loses this weekend.
I said if they would beat Oregon.
Who's LSU got this week then? I thought LSU Ole Miss was this weekend.
LSU this
Is
week.
this Arkansas?
Yeah, they have Arkansas.
Okay. But they probably are big favorites there.
They are. They are 17.5-point favorites.
Doug, is Sam Pittman now the guy on the hot seat?
I've always
Yes,
liked
he's-
him. I hope not. I don't openly root for Arkansas, but he's kind of an old school guy that I kind of liked.
Did Drink take that job?
Is that a step up?
You saying
Wouldn't be
Eli
a step
Drinkwitz
up.
goes to Arkansas?
What?
He's waiting for the
Like Mike
Alabama
Anderson?
gig. Yeah. If Saban has a bad year, he'll be out.
Yeah.
And we lose Drinkwitz just like that.
There's like a list of like 15 coaches who were up for the Michigan State job, and I'm like, I wonder if that 61-yard kick has taken a guy from the hot seat to these random lists, and he wasn't on the list. Chris Kleiman was.
He should be. He's
As
pretty
was
good.
Lance Leipold, big Sunflower State list.
Yeah. If you can win at Kansas and Kansas State, you can probably win anywhere.
Because, yeah, they're kind of recruiting there. Like, Leopold getting some...
There's not a lot of players there. It's not a real popular.
Is game day in South Bend this weekend?
I hope.
I would
That
think
game
so.
is going to be the best game of the weekend for
It's
sure.
an NBC game.
Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah, it's on the
Love
same
that.
time as Missouri.
Yeah, they'll be in South Bend, Indiana.
They are. That'll
I'm
be a
looking
good
forward
day.
to Colorado. I mean, you got maybe two of the top Heisman hopefuls right now, in Nix and Sanders. I think it'll be a shootout, Tim.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people like that Ewers from Texas for Heisman.
Dude, I tell you what, that Alabama game is going to be boring. But that camera angle was so amazing on those Quinn Ewer throws. Like, I don't know, that arm is insane.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I mean, he threw it at 65 yards so casually. Just
How far
in
can you
it.
throw a football?
30 yards, maybe.
I'll take the over.
Do you? I don't know, man. It'd be tough.
And like if you get a running start, like you get a 1-2 step, little crow hop, I think you go about just short of 40.
Yeah,
Maybe
if
that's
you're
our
doing-
next challenge. Maybe that's our next video challenge.
It's gonna hurt after.
Anybody ever won the Heisman back-to-back years?
Archie Griffin.
was
Archie
the only
Griffin,
one.
Ohio State. Colorado USC starts at 9 a.m. local time. That's from the Reluctant Cuck.
Colorado USC 9 o'clock
PM.
p.m.
It says 9 a.m. This text says, the Reluctant Cuck says 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
It'd be 7 in the morning
They're
out
playing
there.
7 o'clock in the morning in Colorado. I don't think so.
Not
I don't
likely.
even think Deanne's up yet.
Well, Colorado's mountain time.
All right, 8 o'clock.
So I think what they're saying is 9 a.m. mountain time.
It kicks off at 2:30 p.m. Central.
Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Nice text.
Stop these bad texts with your lousy schedules. If we want to schedule, we'll have Douglas call in.
Illinois got at Purdue, 2:30 this weekend. That could be a big one.
Don't they have? Isn't it Florida Atlantic this weekend for Illinois?
We can't get the schedule straight.
I'm looking at
I'm looking at
FAU.
For
September.
heaven's sakes.
I'm looking at September 30th.
Kodak
I'm looking
Black
at
and
the weekend.
FAU.
Oh. Gosh.
Just want Big Ten play to start, honestly. I hate these butt-ass games.
Yeah, I do too.
So sick of them.
I do too. Butt-ass games.
Darren, you can't handle the board. You're going to criticize someone who's had 20 winning seasons? That's from Todd Reesing.
Oh.
Well, I don't even know what handling the board is. We're on air every day. Like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what's this?
You want me to do like a master thesis on what I do every day?
Yeah.
Like, it's
What
on.
would you like to hear?
Working.
Colorado USC, Jackson, next week, 11 o'clock Central. That's from the Loto King.
So it'd be at 1 p.m. Central. Or it would be at
10 Mountain.
10 Mountain. Okay.
Why are we having?
Mountain time is a joke.
But you,
now you don't like mountain time.
You weren't
Time is a
talking
joke.
about
An
that.
hour? Just stop it. Just be on the same time.
It's
Like,
Colorado USC next week, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.?
314.
It's literally a 9 a.m.
Keeps
kickoff.
moving up.
No, they don't kick
I thought it
off
was 8 o'clock. Now it's 9 o'clock. And we just looked at the schedule. It's 2:30.
Okay, no. USC plays at Colorado at 11 a.m. Central. So that means they're going to kick off.
But you said 2:30.
But that was talking about Oregon. I
That's
thought we were talking
9
about this
a.m.
week.
That's 9 a.m. West,
No,
right?
Reluctant Cuck said the USC game is like
Okay.
9.
I thought he meant the Colorado game. My apologies. We're talking about like 100
Oh.
different games here.
Don't even know what game, what time zone. What are we talking about?
Talking about college footbat.
Yeah, Mountain time's.
And there's a game that's going to start at 9 in the morning?
I think 7.
Thank you, Jackson. Tim said USC. We were talking.
Okay, all right,
I read a
messed up.
text from a listener that was saying Colorado USC because we were talking about game day because Iggy asked if they would go back to Boulder. For God's sakes.
All right,
Doug, why can't we get our schedules right?
We
All
don't
right,
know
here, I'm
much.
going to give it 2:30
Here we
p.m.
go.
Colorado, Oregon.
There it
Next
is.
week, Colorado takes on USC at 11 a.m. Central.
There it is.
Is everyone clear? We're all good?
Yeah,
Crystal.
It's just I've never heard of a college football game starting at 9 in the morning.
But that would be 9 a.m. West, not where
Right.
Colorado plays. They play Mountain.
Yeah,
so
it'd be
that'd
10
10
o'clock.
10
Still
o'clock
10
in the
o'clock.
morning,
That's kinda
Colorado
early.
time.
They played Nebraska at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But they did it 2 weeks ago.
I was talking about it, that Colorado USC game may be 80. I looked up what is the highest over-under total of all time. Who was quarterbacking Missouri in 2008?
Chase Daniel.
Chase Daniel. When they played Sam Bradford in Oklahoma, the over-under started at 84.
Oh, God. I assume that, that was the game at Arrowhead for the Big 12
And
championship.
it went down to 79 by kickoff, and the final score was 62-21.
It was. I remember I watched that at the sidebar on Washington Avenue, and it's great that my alma mater is playing in the Big 12 championship. It was a game where I was like, they have absolutely no chance. And then taking myself back 15 years, they had a hideous defense, hence the total. That was a really disappointing season because
I
you had the
blame the
momentum in
officials.
2007. You blame the officials because
Yeah.
that would have made up the 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, there was some holding in there.
I think the
Call it, Zebra.
USC Colorado game will be over 80.
Okay.
The only thing I'll say is if Colorado looks different offensively when they're playing a quality team and without Travis Hunter, that could materially impact. If he's healthy, if he were healthy right now, I would share your sentiment on
The
that.
USC has no defense. And I'm shocked they only gave up 10 points to Stanford last 2 weeks ago because they've been getting up 30.
We got breaking news here from the Hunchback of Von Castle and the XFL. Big
merge.
XFL news. Time to pretend anyone cares outside of St. Louis. The XFL and USFL are in advanced talks to merge. An announcement could come soon this week.
So this league is
That's
like
from
a
Front
year,
Office Sports.
It's like a year-to-year league, right?
Pretty much.
Nobody knows it's going to be around until a month before the season.
Whatever it takes to keep it going, I'm in favor of that. I'd rather have it than not have it. If they merge, that's fine.
I don't know.
care.
It's like watching a slow, painful death. It's like, could we just end it?
Oh,
wow.
What, you don't want the Battlehawks now?
I like it, and I think it's fun. The dome fits it pretty well. It's just
Drawing 30,000
I say that on Balloon Party.
But as a whole, Iggy, I'm talking like the XFL
the
as
league
a whole.
sucks on a whole. But
Like St. Louis is great with it, but that's not going to keep a league together. As one city sells out a stadium, while the other sells 10,000. That's my
Maybe
whole
why they're
point.
merging.
Which would be great.
Maybe St. Louis can just join the USFL.
Well, the Battlehawks apparently are joining the USFL.
They said merging.
Merging, so they'll be part of the.
Just have the
Whatever they
league
call
fold and St. Louis go to the USFL.
Just have the Canadian League too. Have every single
Oh, for
league
heaven's
merge into a secondary league. We do not need 4 professional leagues.
It's just, all it is entertainment.
Yeah, if you got teams on the West Coast playing in the Midwest and the East, Yeah, why not have St. Louis play in the Canadian League?
This guy can't tell time or hit a 7-iron. That's from Mr. Siders.
Yeah.
Where he's locked up.
He's looking at the wrong game. Leave him alone.
Yeah, leave him be.
Thanks, Eggs.
Hey, Ledoux, how about you, Ledon't? Go get some sun, White Walker. That's from the River to Perry Yacht Captain.
White Walker.
Clever.
They already had us re-up season tickets, so they're planning something next season. That's from Tony Baloney.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope they're around.
Guys, the XFL thing makes us look like Peoria. Who cares?
Oh.
Can we end the beef and try to get an NFL team back? We're a minor league team, and we're a minor league town now, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
That's from Sniffin' Hole.
Okay.
Like when I lived in Peoria, the Chiefs and Rivermen were like the big deal. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm flashback to that. Like when I went to Peoria Rivermen games, I'm like, oh, this is peak athleticism. No, it's minor leagues, but you're not accustomed to professional sports.
It's a quaint little city, Peoria.
I love it.
I drove down there and met Ty.
It's a lot better
What
when...
the hell is Ty?
Babylonia.
She was skating in the Ice Capades in Peoria. I just drove down for the evening.
Yeah,
in
once
the morning.
Caterpillar left Peoria for Chicago, that place is done now. But it did have a good run.
Illinois State Basketball Tournament in Peoria.
Oh, it's the best
Great
thing
time.
going. Best thing going. Civic Center.
Yeah, super fun.
How did it go with Ty?
It was a fun evening and morning.
Oh, jeez. So she skated and you were in the crowd, right?
Nice.
I don't even think I went. I think I just met her at the hotel bar when it was over.
You were just the gigolo there waiting for her.
Yeah, we just had cocktails.
Brown skin glistening in the sun.
It was a little odd the next morning. I said, oh, by the way, before I leave, can you sign a picture for my little sister? She's a big fan.
XFL is the same level as MLS. Deal with it, soccer nerds. That's from Maxwell Hung, and that's not going to play well.
No, I wouldn't think.
But it is.
No. You don't see, Aaron Donald going to play for an XFL team. Messi plays in the MLS.
Oh, Jackson's attacking the XFL.
MLS is the highest
that's
soccer team we have in the league we have in this country.
Right.
Yeah, but it's comparable to the Turkish league, which is the 7th or 8th. No, I'm serious.
Turkish.
Like, I had a soccer expert
Like we're
compare it.
alienating everybody now.
No, they compared it to the Turkish league. So
But
the
still,
Turkish
it's the best we got.
The Turkish league is
Should we play
7th
the
or
second on
8th
Blue
in
Party?
terms of the international play.
Yeah.
So it is the XFL, kind of. The XFL is about the 3rd or 4th rated NFL, or professional football league.
It's probably second best.
The XFL?
They're the Canadian League.
Oh, the Canadian league.
How many other leagues are there?
But,
Yeah, you pretty much named all three of them.
Yeah.
Still a lingerie league?
No.
What's that lady who covered the U.S. Open for Fox at Chambers Bay and now has an OnlyFans? Holly Saunders, is that it?
Saunders, yeah, she's
yeah,
dating.
she opened up like a lingerie sports league.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Most of them are getting nude. I think that's backed by her boyfriend.
Who's your boyfriend?
She's dating, what's his name? The boxer.
Doug the Boxer.
Mike Tyson.
No, the guy who's got his own.
Oscar De La Hoya.
Naked bodies.
De La Hoya. Yeah, she's calling him my husband. She's hoping she can get married.
Naked bodies.
Marry into that money.
Naked bodies.
She's. I will tell you, she's protecting her OnlyFans because I typed in Holly Saunders OnlyFans leak and there's nothing.
Did you? Nothing there?
Yeah, she's making sure none of her stuff leaks.
Saw my mother-in-law without any clothes on this weekend.
But not OnlyFans. It wasn't a leak.
Good morning, MLS is the HD2 of soccer. Good morning,
AKA
after.
the best.
Oh, man.
I hate the Battlehawks, but I love going to Hicktown High School basketball tournaments in dumpy Peoria. Jesus, this show!
Oh.
It's from the Dogtown Astro fan.
Well, why'd I say
Nothing
I
dumpy
like?
about it, baby.
Yeah, and I liked it when I was 12. I also liked Dippin' Dots when I was 12. I grew up.
You can like all that.
bet
I
you're
love
still
going to
eating
high school
Dippin'
Dots.
basketball
I was about to
games.
I bet you're still eating Dippin' Dots, aren't you?
I just they're too cold. Way too cold, man.
Chilly.
Like icicles.
An hour ago, Plowboy was high as hell and could barely speak. Then he pulls an Incredible Hulk, and now he turns into Stephen A. Plowhawk. What the hell is going on that show? It's from Scooter.
Sometimes you get animated.
Do you have a treat in between that to power you out?
Several.
You had some
Yeah,
sugar.
I had
You had a lot of sugar.
a ding dong and a honey bun.
Oh, wow.
Doug, I played golf with Craig Betts and David Betts
Did you?
on Sunsbin. You know them from Glenn Betts Jewelers and maybe even Kirkwood High School.
Yeah, Craig from Kirkwood High
Sure.
School. We were in some quantum physics classes together.
Great people, and the place to go if you are in the market for jewelry. Big fan of the Betts family, and great to spend a day with them out on the golf course. And they have one wonderful store right off of Manchester, located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester, in De Pere in the jewelry business. There's good, there is better, and then there is Betts. GlennBettsJewelers.com. That's GLENNBETZ Jewelers.com. It's Glenn Betts Jewelers. In the jewelry business, there is good, better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. Jackson's in the studio. What's the word?
Hello, Jackson.
For me.
What's going on?
Did he have to find Iggy and bring him back? I noticed that you left the studio and then Jackson walked you back in here.
Back in there.
The silver alert went out and you were found. And
No, I was just talking to Ray for a second.
why would you leave the show to go talk to someone?
I had asked Jackson something, and Rafe just happened to be standing there, so I talked to him for a second, and I asked Jackson to come in and take a picture for me.
You know, it's a birthday, right?
A picture?
Birthday?
Just Ray's birthday?
Look like it. Yeah, I thought they posted something on the Rish
Oh, was it?
No, nice.
Nice
job, Iggs.
I never know when Riz's birthday is because people say happy birthday to him every day. It's like a running joke. Happy birthday, Riz. I don't know when his birthday is.
Really?
Mr. Licks is the Placifacio of private clubs, always sniffing around but never called up or accepted into the club. Suck it, you D-bag Licks. And Stephen Wildwood and I have aligned for war. Stephen Wildwood and Warson Woods Wacko are now in alliance?
I didn't know that. Wow. Very interesting.
Because they were wagering over our match on this past Friday. Doug rematch this coming Friday.
Really?
You coming?
No.
It'll be nice.
Very,
weather looks
very
good. Iggy
busy.
says the weather's going to be good.
I don't know what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
gosh, am I
Love it
busy.
today. 85. Finally had a little bit of warmth.
You going to ball strike?
No.
You got to get that shoulder
Yeah. You
lubed
got to
up.
get that thing lubed up for the
No,
hit and giggle.
I'll be ready with my wedges on the par threes, then I'll loosen it up a little bit.
And then let it fly.
My very first swing, I'm just going to hell with it. I'm just going to take a, Pinnacle Long Drive Champion swing.
Well, maybe the first one you ought to just kind of take it easy and get warmed up.
No,
just see what happens if you hit it nice and easy.
I'll be warmed up enough. There's really no warming up. It's going to hurt either way, so might as well just get it out of the way and just swing as hard as I can. Maybe I hit 230 right off the bat and I'm done.
There you go. Banty Boy in Bridgeton wants to know the Design Air Heating and Cooling email address. I'm happy to provide it. It's the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That was when I was 12 and like Dippin' Dots. I grew up. You grew up. Your handler sent you to daycare this morning for a lunchbox full of cupcakes and honey buns for breakfast. Self-awareness. That's from Stan the caddy who did not enjoy caddying for us.
No.
Yeah, I'm a kid at heart with the food, but like I grow up in terms of I know what professional leagues are.
Do you?
And I know what, having fun is.
Well, sure you do.
And the XFL and MLS are more fun.
A lot of
They're
people
competitive,
DM me.
but I wouldn't say they're upper echelon.
You like
It's not like I'm saying I don't want them to exist in St. Louis. I just think, it's really funny that we look at those as if they are the NFL and a Premier League. That's my only gripe about it.
What does Plowsy talking about the XFL have to do with what he likes to eat?
Well, I did tell him to grow up, and I do eat
Well, it
sugar
doesn't matter if
candies,
you grow
so
up.
I kind of understood the text.
Are you out of snacks now? Have you gone through everything?
Oh, heck no, dude.
Check your lunch pail. What else?
Let's see.
It's a big pail.
I have
Been
a
through
Rice Krispie treat. I have a Danish.
Oh.
And I have 2 Starbursts.
There's nothing you could put in
And
your
a
mouth that's
graphing
worse than a
calculator.
Starburst.
It has nothing to do with growing up.
How about my love?
I still eat Rice Krispies with bananas in it. I did that as a kid.
Well, the Starburst will pull the teeth right out of your mouth.
It's just a good,
you got any
delicious
cavities
treat.
or anything? Because they'll pull the cavities right out of
I
your
brush
teeth.
my teeth 3 times a day, floss every day, and use mouthwash, so I try to prevent any of that.
Well,
I know
yeah.
what I eat is bad, but I try to prevent that as much as possible. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
No.
But
You know
I try
what?
to avoid the Starburst.
The one thing you eat, and I always brush my teeth after I eat, but normally if I eat it like a snack, like some potato chips or something, I don't until after dinner. One thing you can gargle as much as you want and still you can't get the taste out of your mouth is garlic.
Mm-hmm.
I ate some garlic, sour cream and garlic potato chips yesterday. And I swear to God, I gargled 3 times and all I could taste was garlic.
Yum.
How about this from ESPN a moment ago? We'll get back to the garlic thing. But
I'm done.
Colorado's game, which started at
What,
8 in the morning.
6 in the morning or
2:30,
something?
or 11 or 8.
I think it actually kicked off at 9 St. Louis time. So therefore, 8 o'clock Mountain. 9, and it didn't end until about 1 Central Time. Am I right on that?
Yeah,
I was in REM sleep.
It was like 1:15.
Is that right?
It was late.
How about this? On 9.3 million viewers, to give you context for that, ESPN's 5th most watched college football game ever.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Colorado State.
Really?
At 9 o'clock, a 3-touchdown favorite that went until 2:15 Eastern.
Yeah.
Where the majority of the televisions are, Eastern time zone. It shatters previous ESPN late night prime window viewership high, and it's ESPN's most watched streamed regular season game of all time. It had 11.1 million viewers from 10 to 10:15 Central Time.
Deion's got him hooked.
Deion's like a popular pro wrestler who talks a huge game, puts on a show.
And then delivers.
Yeah, you watch to love him or you watch to hate him.
And I saw where the number 1 quarterback in high school coming out in 2025 already made a visit to Deion.
To the what?
He visited campus.
Oh, I thought you had another word.
Trying to get a commitment out of him 2 years from now.
Jackson, tell me about your hair.
It's coming back, baby. Making
It
moves.
really is.
We're
This
making
guy's got a
moves.
tight body. He's got a great hairline. He's got a bald spot.
Yep. 2023 is the year of taking hold of what you want. And if that's what you're looking for, STL Hair Restoration, St. Louis Hair Restoration. Just go in for a consultation. Maybe you think, I can kind of feel myself thinning a little bit, but it's not that serious. Just go in for a consultation. It might not be, a FUE procedure like Doug got. They put me on, they told me to take this finasteride, and they gave me a laser cap to put on every night. Super easy, and I'm seeing some results. Now, Doug, they got you with the FUE procedure, correct?
Right. The laser cap wouldn't quite get it done for me. If you have a more significant hair loss, the laser cap, it would help, but not enough. So I got the FUE. Here you can see it on YouTube.
Oh, look at your tufts. I see your tufts.
Look at these tufts.
Clip that off.
2023 is the year. What is the year of, Jackson?
It's tough.
Taking hold of what you want.
Year of taking hold
like
of what
that.
you want. And if what you want is a thicker head of hair, we got a place right here in town that
Bill's
can take
Hair.
care of you. Best place going. Say it's not Bill's Hair. It's St. Louis Hair
Awesome.
Restoration.com. You go to a certified doctor. Dr. Polinga is just one of the best out there. The founder of the company is Greg Kryling. They will sit down with you, have a consultation before you decide what procedure. There's many different things they can do. For me, it was the FUE procedure where they took some grafts out of the side and the back of my head, transplanted onto the forehead area where I had the thin hairline. And within a matter of months, you'll have hair. It is, after all, the year of taking hold of what you want. That's what they say at St. Louis Hair Restoration. If that's what you want, that's where you should go. Give them a call. You'll like it.
Check out Mentality today at lowtusa.com. Low energy, motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, you're tired all the time. Those are symptoms of low testosterone, and Mentality is a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. When you feel like you don't have the energy or drive to keep up with your kids after work, that can be low testosterone. Compete at work and at sports like you did years ago by going to Mentality. LowTUSA.com. Testosterone therapy helps men regain normal function and restores their ability to perform normally at all levels. Go to LowTUSA.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the designer eating and cooling of the day. JV golf coach in the lead, but here comes Buck Swope. Don't forget about the Tinky Monster. You like this shirt that I'm wearing, the hoodie the Plowhawk's wearing? All of it's available for you right now at TMASTLshop.com. My TMA NASA shirt available in both a hoodie and also a t-shirt. Plowhawks available in a t-shirt and a hoodie as well. We've got all kinds of new stuff at TMASTLshop.com. Go get yours and you automatically get 10% off. Morning, boys. Great show today. Yesterday, I went to Marshall's to return my Vera Wang with a large burn hole and a dollop of daddy butter on it. To my surprise, Tanya, the 300-pound cashier, wouldn't give me my money back or store credit. We exchanged unpleasantries, then she decided to barrel roll over the counter. As I struggled to keep her couple from knocking me into the rack of odd-sized socks, I noticed a half-eaten hoagie fall from her fupa area.
Oh.
Anyway, she gave me quite a shiner in the need for a good attorney. Any suggestions? Thanks, I'll hang up and listen. It's Grimy from South County. Doug, I'd recommend C.D. Longo and Doug Biggs. Longo Biggs. LongoBiggs.com. LongoBiggs.com.
Grimy from South County.
Think about that.
Good one.
Okay.
Would it be cute if I kissed him between the hips in that erogenous brown valley that lie between his boy satchel and his waistgate? It makes me think. It makes me secrete lust directly into his depends. Thanks, that's from Doty's Grip Pressure.
I didn't like that one. Doty's Grip Pressure.
Hey guys, remember that time when the show came to a grinding halt because the day has struggled to subtract one from a publicly posted game time? That was awesome. But it launched Plowsy's war on what is now known as Big Time Zone. It embarrasses me how much I enjoy the show. That's from Shooter McGavin, the vice president of the Cardinals Pocket Squirrels.
Shooter McGavin, vice president, Cardinal Pocket Squirrels.
Guys, if last night didn't make you feel some emotion to make you proud to live in this great city, then it's time to check your pulse and make sure you're still with us. Here's a guy who spent almost his entire career here in the Mound City, is one of the best at his craft. He's given his heart and soul to the city, and all he's ever wanted to do was make us proud. But then, as his illustrious career comes down the back nine and he starts to struggle a little bit, a lot of you showed your true colors. You bash him, you talk crap, you force him to leave social media. And for what? To get a couple likes? Does that make you feel any better? Are you proud of yourself? It's really pathetic. Just because someone's lost their fastball and is a shell of what they once were, that doesn't make your behavior any more tolerable. I, for one, am ashamed and will stand by this wily veteran until they choose to hang it up. Well, you may have thought I was talking about Wainwright and Win 200. Nah, I was talking about Iggy and his tweets going after Dave Portnoy, the Live Golf fan account, and talking about John Kennedy doing JOI videos. I can see where you thought I was talking about Wayno, though. A lot of similarities there. That's from Pop Beats, Holla at Me.
Pop Beats, Holla at Me. He's new.
200 schmoo-100. Good for TMA, good for Iggy. It's about time someone finally holds Adam Wainwright accountable for his storybook career. No one, and I mean no one, can downplay a milestone quite like the disgruntled old seafood chef. The same fellow who could barely throw a baseball 50 miles an hour? I've seen the video of an old guy frantically running around Normandy looking exactly like Elia after the Arkansas game simply because he chipped 9 balls onto a mammoth green from a few feet away.
You couldn't do it.
We've seen the fist bump, Iggy. We remember. To quote the leathery one, it's not like they won the World Series last night. That's because it's September. Historically speaking, it's very difficult to win the World Series in September. But kudos for putting some fingers in chest this morning. Now, if Wayno would do something truly impressive, like making it into a high school Hall of Fame or holding an hour-long phone call with an AI robot impersonating a drunk porn star,
Hour and a half.
maybe then we could be proud of him. Keep Wainwright's name out your damn mouth, you old queen. That's from the JV golf coach.
JV golf coach.
Morning, guys. Looking to scrounge up some last-minute back-to-school items needed before lunchtime today for my adult-aged partners, so naturally I'm crowdsourcing this to people I hate. If anyone can spare a couple number 2 Ticonderoga pencils, please let me know. I'm willing to drive up to 3 hours for this item. Also looking for a few sheets of loose leaf paper. This will need to be porch pickup only. Lastly, I'm needing 3 to 4 toilet paper rolls and a few pieces of double-sided tape. For this item, I will drive up to 1 hour and pay up to $75. Thanks. Why do I post my food photos? I'll tell you why, because I got friends you don't know. What in the hell did I just read?
I don't know.
Ticonderoga pencil.
Double-sided tape and toilet paper. I don't know what any of that meant.
No.
I was asking for a graphing calculator last night, and that might have been why.
And the guy's name was Ticonderoga Pencils?
No. That was a reference. Oh. You asked for why you need a graphing calculator?
Look, my girlfriend is 2 years into a full-time career, but to get her degree, she needs to take Spanish and math, which is absolutely insane. It's a completely asinine thing.
Because they want more money from you.
You have a career, you did everything, so yeah, she has a math test that needs a graphing calculator.
And those are expensive.
Yeah, so she needed to borrow one. Luckily, a great listener was able to drop one off this morning, so I think that might have been the reference.
Someone just gave it to you or lent it to you?
I'm going to drive it back to him on Thursday.
Sweet action.
Action is sweet, baby.
Finally, ours is the type of presentation where listeners with the same initials of a former 590 general manager feel free to call in at any time and drop an F-bomb when they take shrapnel via the text inbox from a guy they once played video games with. Great to see Wayno get win number 200, and great call by Chip Carey, although I have to take issue with Iggy's characterization of Chip Cary's home run calls and blowout losses. It seems odd that someone who only watches the highlights and not actual games and is such a baseball scholar that he didn't even know how the Yankees won 3 consecutive World Series under Joe Torre would feel the need to watch highlights of blowout Cardinal losses in between trips to nude-a-to-z.com at the masturbation station. Now, I use Baseball Reference to pin down the games where the Cardinals hit a home run, went down 8-0, and then went to Bailey's Twitter feed to hear Chip Cary's home run calls. On August 21st in Pittsburgh, Andrew Kisner hit a 5th-inning home run to cut the Pirates' lead to 8-1, and Cary's call was upbeat but relatively subdued and not at all how Iggy described it. You know what really grinds my gears? These losers who buy up cheap tickets for a last-place club just to hoard the giveaways in a song and dance that both inflates the attendance numbers and also is a nice source of income for a savvy reseller who takes advantage of B-Fib's need to have a ukulele that they're pretending is a guitar. They should limit fans to 1 giveaway per person no matter how many tickets they buy. Well, except for me, because I usually get 2 for free despite not actually paying for a ticket because I'm somehow credentialed media despite the fact that typically only stick around long enough to eat the free press box food and throw pencils at fans who don't take their hats off for the national anthem. Like that's Buck Swope. And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Nice little email by Buck. Well, it's between Buck Swope and the JV golf coach and Pop Beats holla at me. I'm sorry, I got to go with JV golf coach again.
God, I'm afraid of Tim's vote.
Why?
You're afraid? I'm a gentle boy.
Well, because I could vote for JV golf coach, and I know Swope won't win.
It's after 10 o'clock. You better hurry up and vote.
I'm going to go with Blueberry Pop.
I'm going with JV golf coach. Congratulations, JV golf coach. Oh, we got to go. Bye.
All right, here we go. Here's something new, announcing the first